welcome back to Better Big Sisters. I'm Alex.
And I'm Dana.
And today we have two very special guests. Take it away.
Take it away.
Hey y'all, what's up? My name is McKenzi Brooke.
Yeah. And I'm Ariane, aka Momsy.
We love
also Mackenzi's mom.
Yeah, also my mom.
We love Mackenzie and Momsy, and we've known them for a long time, and they are big out here in the social media creator world.
Well, the first thing that we want to know was, how did you start social media? Because I know you and your brother were like a big part. And then also to counter that question is, how were you like okay with them coming up on social media?
Like,
you know?
Well, I would have never started social media if it wasn't for my mom. Like, most people don't have their moms get them into social media. That was absolutely mine. I was the kid who didn't want to be in social media, and my mom's like, oh my God, you should do it. Like, it was definitely the opposite way around. Just because I knew it was a lot of work and I wasn't exactly prepared for it. I was more like involved with dancing. I was dancing in school, and I was just like, I don't want to do social media. I kind of got my first taste of it in 2017 when I was backup dancing for the Barker family. So they had me go to playlists and dance for them, or like dance behind them.
No way.
And so it was kind of like a very quick turnaround performance. Like, I learned all their routines the night before I was supposed to perform.
Oh my gosh.
And kind of like during 2017, I got a like first taste of it. At the time, it was Musical.ly, it wasn't TikTok. And they were like, oh my God, you should start the platform. My mom's like, come on, you should like start. And I was like, no. I was like 13. I was like, no. Like, I did like the videos for them and everything like that, but I was just like, no, I'm not ready for it. And then kind of like it was in my mom's head, and then like 2 years.
You did amazing.
Yeah. Well, like 2-3 years later, she kind of came to me, and my brother was on set for Nickelodeon, and I was in the hotel room 24/7, and I wasn't allowed to be on set with my brother. So my mom gave me 3 options, because she's all about like kind of don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Like, you be productive and everything like that. So my mom gave me 3 options. One of the options was, we're in summer, so everyone keep this in mind, we're in summer. And she was like, 1, you could start reading. And we just started summer break. We just started summer break. I was doing high school while I was in middle school. So I was like, no, I want to kind of take a break and everything like that. And so first option was out. Second option was go to a dance convention. I did not like the way the dance convention was being run, though. So that option was out. And the third option was start social media. And
oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, my mom always knew I was kind of like, she gave me that option, like gave me the option so I had somewhat of a choice, but she always knew at the end of the day that I was going to enjoy social media. So I'm glad she kind of like put me in the predicament of like, I'm gonna do it. So.
Just give her a little nudge. Everything leads a little nudge.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was older at the time, so I was like 15, 16 or something like that. And so I was older, more wiser. I'm kidding. Definitely not wiser. But I was older, and I was like, kind of like, well, if I'm sitting in the hotel room all day, every day, like, might as well, even though I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing. But I'm glad she made the decision for me.
Yeah, facts.
She made the decision, but I gave her very limited choices.
Yeah.
I mean, and she literally like blew me away. I remember like her numbers, like really during the time she was working, you know, back at Playlist in 2017, she never really got into Musical.ly, neither her or Reef. And she kind of acquired followers that weekend, and she was sitting with 11,000 followers, and it was incredible. I mean, she was,
oh my gosh,
you know, hanging out with there at the time.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I'm trying to remember the Coffee family.
They
could not believe her energy. Like, she was literally, I should have dropped 20 pounds that weekend. I mean, running from,
We
you
didn't
know,
sit
all
still.
the different platforms between YouTube, YouNow at the time, and, you know, Musically, and just the playlist vibe, and, you know, and just watching her energy was just tremendous. And, you know, I never sat down for 72 hours, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
And she went from, you know, a couple of thousand to 11,000 and then nothing.
Oh yeah.
And when I gave her these limited choices, she jumped onto social media.
I didn't even do dancing. I did comedy skits.
She did.
Yeah.
Very cringy
We
comedy
did the slow
skits.
motion too. All
No, it wasn't
cringe.
even that. It was like, I don't know why I decided I'm a dancer, but let me do comedy skits. Like, I don't know where in my head I
And she
was
was
thinking.
so
but
funny. I mean, she climbed in 3 weeks to 44,000, and TikTok, you know, basically verified her. It was
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
Contacted her immediately. Well, it came directly to me because right on the account, you know, it said mom managed because she's, you know, she was young. I
Yeah.
highly recommend that, by the way. And, you know, they came directly to me and they were like, listen, we verified Mackenzie. We'd like to invite her to, you know, headquarters. You know, can we make that arrangement? My error in judgment was that they really wanted me on social media very much at that time.
Like you
Yeah,
yourself?
me personally.
No way.
They were like, we see a real promise with you, and we think it would be awesome if you could jump on and do your thing. And my focus was really, you know, about Mackenzie and her brother Reef.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to be split like that.
Yeah,
You know?
100%.
And I was still, you know, I'm still very much working and so forth. So managing the kids and then bringing myself on, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
I love that like dynamic that like you really like got her into it though, and it's not something that she like loves to do and like is like something she chooses to do every day, because that is like very not common. Like it's very common for parents to like pick something for their kids to do and then be miserable doing it all the time, and like you're not miserable doing it.
Mm-mm.
You know, and it's something that has like put you in like the cool, like I just saw you were on like a box for like a toy or something at like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Target.
saw that.
Like
yeah.
that is so cool. Like that's so crazy. And if like your mom never told you to like get yourself on there, like you wouldn't be on the box, you know what I mean? So it's like cool that that's like that dynamic is there, because like obviously our parents were like, you guys are insane, you know, because they didn't know what we were like fully doing. But
Mhm.
she had a vision.
No,
she had a
my
vision,
mom and- yeah.
she was ready to make it happen.
She manifested it.
My mom and dad have kind of always been really supportive with anything had to do with like my brother and my career or anything like that. They were definitely the first ones to like, well, my mom was like before my dad because she got us into it, everything like that. But my family was always super supportive and everything, especially like my outside family. I love them and everything like that. But, you know, like they weren't always like so supportive like at the beginning, and everyone was like super confused, like, oh, well, like, what is she doing? Like, is she gonna go to college and stuff like that? Like,
I
is this a
hate
waste
that.
of time?
Least
And
favorite
I still have
question.
the,
Yeah, least
I
favorite
still have
question.
the, you know, every single year, because I just turned 19, and so kind of like
Yay.
every single year, my mom's like, well, if you by this date or anything, like that's kind of how like I really more like started focusing into like music and social media, because my mom made a deal with me that every year if I'm not, because I graduated almost 2 years early from high school. So my mom, I always wanted to take a gap year, but she was like, every single year when it comes to January, the beginning of the school year, if I'm not busy during that time, she puts me into college. So she's still very much like hard on me and stuff like that about school, because school is important, like stuff like
School's
that.
important,
Not
but,
college.
you know, I think it's more for the business side of it, the business management, and just
That's what I'm
understanding
saying, yeah.
and reading contracts. And I mean, she's had so many opportunities extended to her, but I'm not, you know, I don't want to say I'm pro, you know, college. This is not a commercial for that. I think that it's more education, like in general, like being able to, you know, understand contracts that are being given to you or scenarios, and that way, you know, because as you're, you know, getting older, you know, your circle becomes smaller.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And, you know, you have to have those trusting instincts and be able to understand everything, better than your team. Your team is very important. You need to have an incredibly supportive team, people that you trust and can confide in, but you also have to be able to trust your own instinct.
Yeah, 100%.
And, honestly, when it comes to, Mackenzie and Reef and just anyone in general, like, you can't fit a square peg in a round hole.
What's crazy to me is like the parents that are all for college, that send their kids to college and pay like literally $50,000 a year when their kid doesn't even know what they want to do with their life.
No, I think that's
like,
crazy.
It makes no sense. Like, I understand, like, I know some people that literally go to college and take one business class fully just for that purpose, like, not because they're trying to get a degree, like, just to learn about business and stuff, which I don't even think that's fully like the college experience, because you're just taking that one class and it's mainly online. But there's kids that are literally in college, like, and they don't know what to do, and I don't get all that.
Because I do feel like, though, college, like, is kind of the place you figure out what you want to do if you have no clue. Like, I always grew up knowing what I wanted to do.
Yeah, facts.
And everything. So I feel like I, like, have a lot of friends that don't necessarily know what they're doing, so, like, that's what they're going to college to find what they want and stuff like that. Or, like, even with, like, especially if they want
that money for one major, they switch over and have to do another 2 years on top of the last 2 years. I'm like, I know, like, probably 4 people that have, like, changed their major, like, 3 different times and had to pay.
Yeah, my sister's still changing hers right now, and she's in college, too.
Like,
I also know a girl that went to UCLA. She graduated a year and a half early, went to UCLA, graduated with, like, pre-med, so she has to go to, or not pre-med, pre-law, so she has to go to law school, except she's not in law school, and she's working at a server at a restaurant in our town, right? But she graduated 2 years early from high school, and she went to law school at UCLA. So her parents paid for UCLA every single year. And now, like, she's just sitting, like, being a server, not going to law school. I'm like, why wouldn't you need to, like, if you're going to pay all that money to do the first half, finish it. You know what I mean? Like, don't just, or if you're going to just do that, go get a job maybe as an intern. See what you can do to get into your field. Don't just continue to do the same thing you were doing before you left and paid the $60,000. That's what I don't like about college, is the people who go to college and then don't use their degree to do what they're like,
what they study. Yes. No, I feel the same way. I feel like, coming from the educational side, because I used to teach, I think the level of frustration for me, as not just as a parent, but also being part of the system, is that I don't see the changes developing. I think that if we did more to provide for our youth, like
100%, like teach them about taxes and like how to like not spend money when you have like when you like start making money, like financial wise. That was like the number one thing that I wish I learned. I was like grateful to have my dad who like had his own business and like knew what it's like to save and like knew what it's like to have a credit card and like, because they should teach you even about credit cards. Like that's like the hugest thing right now. Like your credit score.
They don't even talk about the elephant in the room. So I call the elephant in the room is social media.
Yeah.
The schools, first of all, we have more online students now than we've ever had, due to the pandemic. But, if you're going to, have a school where you have students, come to the school, then provide, the diversity as well as talking about the elements that are part of our kids' education now. Like, being a parent of 2, I still call Mackenzie a teenager. I don't know. She's getting older, and I'm getting younger. I don't know what it is. Pretty soon we'll be the same age.
Until I turn 20, I'm still a teenager. I don't know. But 20s.
But I just feel that we're just not addressing things of today, and like kids need that support. Like I feel like if we were doing more as a society to like, I think that kids should learn about podcasts in school. Like, they should know about different work opportunities. Not everybody is, destined for college. And, I think that there's a lot of like really incredibly talented, kids out there that are just not being given like.
What's crazy that you say that is that my senior year of high school, so in 2018, my English teacher gave multiple speeches about how social media is bad for you. and how everybody should delete all social media apps on their phone. I remember sitting there because I was doing photography at the time, and I always knew that I wanted to go into photography or directing for movies and stuff. And I had a smallish platform for my photography, and I would always roll my eyes, and I would talk to her about it, and she would just be like, nope, it's brainwashing everybody. It's a terrible thing. So it's crazy how people will literally teach people in school. She would show articles about how social media is making kids worse than it is. And she probably does it still now to this day. She still works there. So isn't that crazy?
That's awful. I mean, because honestly, there's so many opportunities for, as an educator, it's even important to know that whatever you're going to put out there on social media it's not God forbid you do something wrong. Mm-hmm. There are things that can be expunged. But here's the real facts about social media. Nothing can be expunged. Whatever you put out there, I don't care who and what you are.
Or who put it out. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't
if you put it out there, someone else put it out there.
It doesn't disappear. It might seem like it gets deleted.
Someone can screen record it, take a screenshot of it.
So I think 100%. If people understood the facts and did more from coming from contribution and education and being able to, have, just you guys alone, you're still young. And I mean, I'm still young.
Hey.
But, just being able to come into the schools and, talk in middle school and high school about the facts and about real life and reality. And that way, hopefully options would be more available to kids and more direction. So if they do go to college, they might have a better idea. I mean, we're from Florida, and I can't tell you how mind-blowing it is how many kids in Florida are afraid of the water.
What?
Afraid of the water. And I know you love the water.
Yeah.
I know that but afraid of the water, and they're from Florida, and there's so many careers and options and opportunities, and
especially out there. Yeah.
And they're afraid. The fear is real.
What? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was afraid of the water too, y'all.
For why? Because of sharks?
Yeah.
But also, another question was, now that you are here in social media, what is some things that changed your life, for the good and bad of social media?
Well, for the good, I've gotten to meet lots of cool people like you guys.
Yeah.
To be part of my family. I've gotten to add a lot of people that I wouldn't have known through social media and call them my family nowadays. Same thing with friends. I've gotten to meet really cool people that I looked up to. Before starting social media, I'd watch their videos and be like, oh my God. And then I've gotten to actually make videos with them and for them to hit me up and be like, hey, do you want to collab? It's super cool for those opportunities. Or recently I just went to Arizona. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what it's for.
Oh, you can ixnay anything, right?
What? If you guys don't want to?
I think this will come out after I post it. So anyways, I just went to Arizona to film I filmed the big game for State Farm.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is so cool.
But I would have never been able to have that opportunity if it wasn't for social media.
Yeah.
And so that's been really cool. So
performing with the Chainsmokers, you and your brother.
Yeah.
When?
You guys did that?
Yeah.
When?
A year ago.
Just before the world shut down.
It was
literally.
Okay.
I thought it was October 2021. October 2021.
Oh yeah. Because actually, Alex and Drew are one of our good friends. Yeah.
We
love them.
They're so sick.
They surprised us
with
getting to.
We would love to get together with them.
Yeah.
They know me very well.
Dude, he was just texting me
literally in the car on the way here.
You gotta text him, say, "Hey, do you remember the mom that got bit
at your show?"
Really?
Bit.
That's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. Mackenzie and I.
It's on recording. I got a recording. When can I post that video? By the way,
I don't know. Mackenzie
I'm gonna post
and
that
I
video.
got attacked. And
I have it on video of her getting attacked.
The funny thing that they would say is that it must have been a 5 Second of Summer fan.
Oh my God.
It was really that that day was very insane. That wasn't the day we performed, but we were supposed to get together with them, and unfortunately they had a really like
we did get together with them.
No, not that day. No, that was in Miami.
Oh, that's right.
We didn't get together with them.
I forgot. They had a short.
Yeah, we didn't.
They were going somewhere to perform besides that.
Yeah, and they had like some type of like meeting before their performance, so we weren't able to get together before then. But then we went. They invited us to the Orlando one.
Tampa first.
Tampa
we slept
first.
Through that.
Yeah, Tampa. But then we slept through it.
That was after being in the hospital.
Yeah. No one
God.
realized they were doing. I didn't realize, or my mom didn't realize they were doing like back to back like tour dates. Like I didn't realize that. Like I thought it was like. Perform in Miami, have a day off, then perform in Tampa, then have a day off, then perform.
No, they're insane.
No, yeah, they go back to back to back, and none of us realized that. So we literally slept through the Tampa show,
We didn't get home from the hospital till about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning,
and that's when we would have had to drive.
And
so.
I had no idea. And their one of their tour people called and they said, "So we're going to see you in Tampa tonight." I was like, "That's tonight? Oh, oops." No.
Oh my god.
That's going to be rough. And so absolutely they extended that invitation to Orlando, and it was.
And then they surprised us with allowing us they surprised my brother and I, and they're like, "Do you want to perform with us?" Basically.
No way.
So yeah, and we made up a whole dance routine, and it was really fun that day.
It was so cool.
Aww,
Wait, that's so sick.
Yeah.
They're so nice.
They
They're
are
lit.
super dope.
They are.
It was awesome. I mean, I still to this day, it's one of my favorite videos to watch. I mean, he literally, like, the head bouncer pulled them up onto the stage right out of the audience.
I was unplanned.
like, yeah.
Oh my god, they can dance?
Yeah, wait,
Yes.
that's funny. That's sick though.
Yeah, it was really cool. So like we've had great opportunities like that, but you know, like also through social media we've had like the bad times.
Oh, yeah.
The bad times of like, you know, finding out unfortunately who's real and who's fake. And
100%.
yeah, as I know you guys have experienced it yourselves too.
Oh yeah.
You can't necessarily tell whether somebody wants to be your friend or be in a relationship with you, whether it's through because they actually like you or because they like you for your social media and followers.
or like where they can go, because like we get invited to things like EDC and like Coachella and like these places like this, and when you get invited to those things, like you get a +1. So when you get this +1 and all of your other friends are influencers, who are you going to bring with this +1, right? Like you would bring the person you were dating or talking to, because that's like what you would do. But what we don't realize in our brains is like we're opening this world up to people who aren't in the world, and opening the world up is like scary because now they like expect it, and in reality it's
oh my god,
like,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
you don't need to be like I invited you to one thing, you don't need to come to like all 7. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's hard, and then they get mad when they're not invited, and it's or I can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't.
Or they get mad that you're like you invited them to it, and then they're like, well, invite my friend too. You obviously can.
It's like no,
you
I
have
can't.
Followers and numbers. Obviously, you can invite them, and then you obviously like you can't.
Yeah,
like sorry, like
that.
I invited just you. I didn't invite you and your friends.
Yeah,
or your best friend or anything.
Or
they get too comfortable,
and then they get mad that you can't help the whole.
And then you're like, fine, I won't go.
Yeah.
And then they're like, fine, I won't go. Since you can't invite my friend, I can't go either. I'm like, what the frick? I feel like, but it's worse in LA. No offense to anyone who's from LA, lives in LA.
It's just because it's the heart, and this is where everybody is, and this is where all the egos come together. And
I think it's the expectation that develops.
Yeah.
Like, it's just genuinity, just finding the people that are genuine in your life and literally just keeping that circle together and small. And that's why I always say to the kids, and I know you guys know this very well, that as you get older, your circle gets smaller.
Oh, 100%.
You know, and that's who you have, you know, you have to keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I realized that young and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even though, like, still nowadays, I'm finding out who's real and who's fake and everything. But I'm definitely glad I figured it out when I was, like, younger that, like, not everyone's your friend or someone wants you for this or someone wants you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it definitely
sucks for sure. Like,
Mhm.
or like I've even had it from like during school. I was not like the quote unquote, like I was known in my school, but not because like, oh my God, she's like the like most perfect girl or whatever you call like the mean girls, popular girls at school or anything like that. Like I wasn't Miss Regina George or anything like that. I was more known because I wasn't completely in school for health reasons, not because I just decided to skip or anything like that. So I was like more known for like that reason. That's kind of why my whole school knew me. And so not everyone was super nice to me. I only had like probably like only this many people. I can only count on like my first hand of how many people like are like were cool to me during school and everything like that.
Or real.
Or like real and everything, like who will still reach out to me nowadays, or like when I was out, they would be like, "Are you okay?" Like genuinely ask if I was okay.
Mackenzie and we were in the professional dance world at a very young age, and I have to tell you that she, you know, her and I did everything we could to like talk to different choreographers, different kids in dance, and suggest social media, and to the point that they would say, "Do you work for TikTok?"
What does that have to do with relationships,
Well,
Mom?
I'm getting to that point.
Okay.
So one of the things with Mackenzie is that she really like was more focused on like utilizing her time really in a wiser way. And she used to, I don't even know if she remembers, she used to kind of, not in a mean way, but kind of like look and not ever say anything to the girls, but notice how their time was preoccupied. So like they would be in La La Land, like literally, you know.
That's okay. That's okay
they
now.
would have, yeah, she's in La La Land now.
No, I'm not in La La Land now.
No.
I don't have a boyfriend. How am I supposed to be in La La Land?
But like she would notice how if it was a job or competition or school related or whatever, these girls would be like, their time would be so preoccupied and like, you know, just whether it be a girl or a guy that they liked, it didn't matter. You know, same thing with the boys. They would just be like boy crazy, girl crazy, however you want to look at it. And all of a sudden, like schedules and time. And
well, I just considered like all the guys like my brothers, and like that was basically it. So like if I was told they like me, and I was just like, I don't know how to drop this to you, but you're my brother. That's incest. That's weird. So that was pretty much the topic.
She looked at all the, you know, everybody like that. I think she was just so, she still is. She was just so focused on.
Don't worry, I still do like guys. Like I do have crushes for sure.
and she did have her first boyfriend.
Do we also want to talk about maybe the ex-boyfriend?
Sure, why
what
not?
happened?
Sure, why not?
Okay, let's. So
he was my best friend for, I would say, probably almost 2.5 years. Probably around that. 2 years? 2 years, sorry. 2 years.
Maybe a year before you looked at him differently.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I met him through a social media event, and he, like, how we met, I, like, right when we were together, I would tell everyone this, like, he knows this, like, and everything. When I first met him, absolutely hated him and his friend. Absolutely. Like, just because, again, how my mom mentioned it before, when it comes to business, like, I'm very business-minded. There's, like, a time and place, like, to goof around and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But when I'm first meeting you, and if you're a guy and I'm meeting you at a social media event, I can't tell, because of past experience, whether you want to be my friend or you want to be in my videos.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
100%.
And so, like, and when it came to, like, me posting with any guy on social media, since I've never had a boyfriend, anytime I, like, put a guy in my video, whether, like, even nowadays still, like, if I put a guy in my video, everyone's like, oh my God. Or if I mention a guy, like, it's just, like, the video, like, it's just, like, shocker to everyone, I guess. And so...
Unless it's your brother.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
She said,
No, yeah, obviously, my brother. Everyone knows my brother. I was always very, like, to myself when it came to things like that. And when I first met him and his friend, we were in Texas, and he came up to me with his friend. I'm on my phone, And I just did not have a great vibe of them, like right off the bat. And I was just like, I had to go somewhere and everything. And I wasn't like trying to be rude, but like they came up to me. I was by myself and I was just like, like I'm a little uncomfortable, but I had to go meet someone. So it was kind of just like, hi, my name is this. Hi, my name is that. And like him and his friend, I was just like, hi, Mackenzie. Okay, nice to meet you guys. I gotta go go to a meeting right now. And which I did. Like, it wasn't like anything I was lying about. And like afterwards, I had rehearsals with my brother that night because we had to perform the next day. And I didn't know this. My brother was hanging out with his friends, but I thought it was friends that I knew, which it was. Two of them were people I knew that he was hanging out with and everything. And I was like, come on, we need to practice, blah, blah. And I just finished hanging out with my friends. And I told them, like, no, it's okay. You guys can go up to the room, like, go get your sleep. I'll be fine in the gym and everything like that. Nothing's going to happen. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, my brother's going to be down here in a second. Comes down like 2.5 hours later. And he comes waltzing down with my ex and his best friend. And then the two people we knew. And the two people know when I mean business, I mean business. And there's like, they're the same way because they are also in the industry. So they know. And so I'm like, come on, Reef, we need to like work. We need to like, I need to teach you the rest of the dance at the time because like he made a part of it. I made a part of it and we made a part of it together, but I was finishing it. My ex and his friend were just basically goofing around with my brother. And again, I'm like, I just met you guys. You're already trying to like kind of like mess with our business. Like that's not cool. Like I don't know if you know anything about like social media or when it comes to business, but this I'm not gonna allow. So I basically like was just like, hey, I don't know who you are. I don't care who, like how to get to know you or anything like that. But if you dare like keep messing around with my brother while I'm trying to like get him focused, because my brother's younger and everything like that. And you know, my brother knows that sometimes I kind of need to like focus him and get him on target for like all of us to like get our work done and everything. And like sometimes he does the same thing with me because we all get distracted at different points in times. And they were just kind of like kept messing with my brother. And I was just like, you know what? If you mess with him again and stuff like that, I'm just like, you basically can leave the public gym. By the way, it's a public gym.
Oh my
I was like, you can leave the public gym. And so like I had like a terrible first impression of him and his friend, but I got to know him. He did something like, I will say at the beginning, the relationship was nowhere near the end. Like I will, you know, kind of like talk about his beginning self and like say he was a great guy at the beginning and everything, like kind of how he got involved because I still never followed him on social media. He didn't have my number. He didn't have my Snap. No way of connecting me. He was my brother's friend. They were my brother's friend. Nowhere near my friends. I wanted nothing to do with them. They were barely acquaintances. Like, I was just like, I know your name because you are friends with my brother, and I'm not going to be rude to you or anything like that. And one day, he did something really nice. I got upset at the movies, and this was my favorite story about, like, basically us, and will probably be my only favorite story. I walked in the movie theaters because I was upset. He came after me, wondering what was wrong, asked me if there's anything to do. I, again, still didn't like how I met him and everything like that. And I'm very much like, first impressions are very key to me. Unless, like, you're having, like, a really bad day and, like, something terribly happened to you. Completely different if you come up to me and talk to me about it. And, you know, he came up to me, asked me what was wrong. I basically was just like, you know what? I'm going to call my friend. I don't want to talk about this situation with you. I don't really know you. And I called my friend, talked about it. And then he came up to me after I got off the phone. And he was like, hey, I'm just checking in on you. I want to know what's wrong. Like, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but I just wanted to check in on you. And that's kind of where, like, our friendship started. And I was just like, you know what? Like, totally. Like, let me, you know, tell you, like, all about, like, what happened. Like, I don't mind, like, anything like that. Like, I know you're trying to be nice and, like, genuine right now. I feel like, so let me tell you. And then after that, he asked me an opinion about a girl that he liked, and now he's friends with that girl. We all know who that girl is. We all know who that girl is.
The one they tell you not to worry about.
Yup. So I also did not want to, like, anywhere get involved with being his friend because he did like another girl at the time. like when I first met him. And I never want to be that girl. Not most girls in LA, but I don't want to be I don't want to be the girl who like, you know, the girlfriend's like, oh my God, like I totally know she likes you, or like I totally know like she wants to get with you, or blah blah blah. Like I don't want to, or like she's trying to make me feel jealous. Like I don't want to be that girl, and I never want to put myself in that position or the guy in that position unless I've been friends for years with them before they like ever knew the person. I never had we never liked each other or anything like that. Completely different. Like I think that's like a different situation. But you know, he liked this girl and everything like that, and so I didn't want to like get involved whatsoever. And he then asked me that same night, like, what was your opinion about this girl? What did you know, do you think I should still be with her? Blah, blah. Like, asked me. Like, I barely know this kid at the time. And he's asking me whether I think that he should be with him or be with her. And I'm a very straight up person. So I gave him straight facts. Like, I barely and everything like that. I was like, do you want me to be honest, or do you want me to, like, lie to you and tell you what you want to hear? Because, like, I'm always upfront with someone when they ask for my opinion. I was like, honest or what you want to hear. I was very honest with him. I told him right up front. I was like, you know, these are my 3 things. I was like, 1, she's underage. And I was like, that's, like, the girl's never necessarily going to post about you because, 1, she can get in trouble, you can get in trouble. It's just, like, it's just not going to happen, even though
also,
you guys...
it's like, what are you doing talking to an underage girl?
Yeah.
Why is that even a comment?
Way underage.
Yeah. Like a child. Like,
and so I was just like, you know, no. Like, it's just, no. Like, if you guys were both above the age of 18 and stuff like that, and then you had an age difference, okay. But, like, in the world of social media, if there's an age range, or even in the world of, like, entertainment, if there's, like, underage, non-underage, like a lot of different things could happen. And so I was like, that's the first thing. Second thing, I've heard like you complain about her, and I don't even like know you both well or anything like that, but I've heard you both complain about each other. And I was like, I don't know, you shouldn't be complaining about each other if you guys like care about each other like that. And like third, I gave him like one other thing, but my third one, I was like, if I barely know you and you're asking for my opinion about you liking or being with another girl, that's another problem. I was like, you should not be asking a random girl, barely an acquaintance, of what I think about.
Been a sign.
I was like,
that's what I'm saying.
Of what I think.
There's a lot of red flags.
I was like, of what I
large.
think about this situation. Like, that shouldn't be a thing or anything like that. Like, yes, it's different if you're asking your close friend or like a mom or a dad, like completely different. But I barely know you or anything like that. You don't even message me. I don't message you. I don't even follow you or anything like that. And I was like, you didn't even ask my brother. You asked my opinion. And I'm like, you're friends with my brother.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
And kind of like then like after that, he was like, wow, I can't believe like you were so honest with me. And I was just like, well, like, what do you expect? Like, you asked for my honest opinion. He was like, none of my friends even like told me this or anything like that. And I was like, well, then, not saying that they're not necessarily your friends, but if your friends aren't honest with you and everything like that, then they're not necessarily your friends or anything. And I was like, and I'm not your friend. Like, I was very clear. I was like, I am not your friend. And I was like, I don't know you. I'm like barely an acquaintance. I was like, so you know what? You don't have to like take my advice or take my opinions into consideration. I was like, don't even. I was like, it could go in one ear, out the other. I was like, I could care less what you do with whatever I just said and stuff like that. But I was like, I have nothing against either one of you or anything like that. I was like, do you guys look great together taking a picture? Yeah, but that's not the only thing that matters in a relationship. Fully. And I was like, and I've never had a relationship. Like, I was like, I've never had a relationship. So I was like, you know, do what you want with whatever I said. And literally less than a week later, they stopped talking. Like, less than a week later, stopped talking. All of a sudden, like, we became, like, kind of just, like, after that, we both started talking, like, often and everything like that. And became really good friends and, like, best friends. And we tell each other literally everything. Like, I didn't necessarily tell him everything.
Do you have feelings for him at this point?
Even though he did some very, very crappy things to me. And I definitely hit rock bottom with relationships. Do I wish him the best? Yes, because I'm not the type of person who's going to be like, I wish for you to burn or blah, blah, blah. Like, does he wish the worst on me? Oh, of course. Yeah, I know that. I've already experienced it. I've already experienced him trying to wish the worst on me and doing like such like terrible things even after we broke up.
Also, I meant feelings as that point in time in the story, not currently.
Oh, in that point in time?
No, you don't have feelings for him.
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Okay, in the point in time.
Hopefully.
No, I didn't know which feelings we were talking about.
In the point in time in that story, you guys were like friends.
Moment.
We were friends. Okay, we were just friends. Like when he came to me at the movies, I was like, oh wow, he's like, he seems like a good guy. Like no one else came after me. Like when I cried and ran out of the movies, I was like, he seems like a good guy and everything like that. And I was just like, I don't really know and all that stuff. And at the time, he didn't do social media, but wanted to do social media. And I'm the type of person who's
the biggest red flag on
I
the
know.
planet.
He was another creator's videographer.
Yeah, I was the type of person who is like
Another
when
red
someone
flag.
what is the type
I
of
didn't hear about this one.
I'm the type of person who like if someone comes up to me though and like I think they're genuine, I'm like, oh my god, let me help you.
Honestly, me too.
Yeah, but like at that time, I did not have feelings for him. Like I was just his friend and stuff like that. Just because I didn't know him and like I'm the type of person like I want to be great friends with you before we get into a relationship and stuff like that. Because if we don't have that friendship and that bond like that, then I'm like, why do I want to get in a relationship with you? But also at the time, I was like, boys, not like boys, but like I definitely had my crushes and stuff like that. But I'm like, he lived in California. It just didn't make sense. Like I never really saw him or anything like that. And so it didn't really make sense. And you know, then I decided to like a guy in Florida, which, you know, we're not going to talk about that. But like, then like I liked people like around me and stuff. And that was kind of, and then I was on set all the time. So it didn't make sense for me. Not saying if you're on set all the time, you can't have a boyfriend, but I was just like not necessarily focused. I wasn't focused. Yeah, I wasn't focused on him.
You were busy.
Yeah, I wasn't focused on him. I was nowhere near thinking that I liked him or anything like that. It was more when like a year and a half into the relationship of us like talking and stuff like that, there was like, I was like, I'm talking to him. Like he's calling me every morning, every night and stuff like that. Like waking me up. Because, you know, there's a time difference. So he'd wake up early in the morning. He'd call me, which would wake me up early in the morning. And then he'd call me at night because he'd go to bed first. And I'd go to bed after and everything like that. Just because I go to bed late.
Yeah.
And like it was coming into that relationship. And I was like noticing it. And like I was just like, wow, like I'm really enjoying talking to him and everything like that. Like he's being a really like nice and sweet person. Like at the time I was like, well, I think he's super genuine. Like at the time I did. And I was like, wow, like I kind of like what's happening and everything like that. And then, you know, I told my friends about the situation. My friends are like I was like, but I didn't know whether he liked me or not. So I never once mentioned it to him or anything like that. Ever like hinted at nothing. Like I was like, because he's older than me. So I was like, he probably thinks of me like as a little sister or a best friend or anything. Like that's what I thought. And or like just my brother's like friend. Even though he like barely started talking to my brother, he was more talking to me nowadays. Mm-hmm. And I just thought of the situation. And like one day he got on the phone with me, called me up, made a comment, and all my friends heard it. And they're like, thank God I muted the phone as soon as they started talking. Because they were like, and you don't. I was like, mute. And they're like, and you don't think he doesn't like you? And I was like, I don't know. And kind of after that, I did a music video and never wanted him, like, swear to God, never wanted him as my like as the love scene or like my like love interest in the video. Never wanted it or anything like that. And he ended up becoming it. And it was kind of just like random out of the blue. I had no clue anything about it. And that's kind of how we started our relationship. Everything was great at the beginning. There was a lot of red flags though straight from the beginning and everything like that. Because one, he was still not completely over what happened with him and his ex. And this was a different ex, not like the girl he like left after a week. This was a different person and everything like that, like someone from his hometown. And he wasn't completely over the situation of what happened.
Another red flag. He came with baggage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like the type of person, like, I'm really like interested in you. So like basically I'll wait. And so that's what I did. Unfortunately, it dragged on for like over 4 months and stuff like that. But at the time, he was telling people we were together. And I was like, no, we're not together. Like, we were exclusive and everything, but nobody knew we were together. Like, we didn't tell anybody. We told everyone we were just friends.
Even when I asked, you're like, that's just my friend.
Yeah, like, I didn't tell, like, because that's what, we weren't together. We were exclusive, and we, like, exclusive to each other, where we knew we weren't going to talk to other people, but we weren't together. And unfortunately, at one point in time, it's not fair to somebody when the person is dragging on for so long, and you're just like, well, when are you going to ask me out?
She knows a lot about that. Not me. She.
And that's kind of what happened. Like,
Not anymore. Yeah, not anymore.
But like, that's kind of like what happened. I was just like, when? And he was just like, I promise I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. Like, it was kind of like those, like, I promise I'm going to do it. I promise I'm going to do it. And that was kind of all the red flags, like, at the beginning. I, like, should have, like, if the person doesn't want to be with you right then and there.
And the excuse is always just like, I can't right now. Right? Am I wrong?
It wasn't even that. Like, there was no excuse.
He didn't even give an excuse.
There was no excuse.
Say next week.
No, he would just be like, I'm gonna do it. Like, just wait. I'm preparing it. Like, cause I was the girl. I still am the girl. I do feel like, you know, every girl deserves to have a great, like, asking out way and stuff like that.
Well, you deserve your fairy tale, and if you don't get your fairy tale, then you don't fucking want it.
Exactly. And so, like, he would just make the excuse of, like, oh, I'm planning it, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, like, 5 months later, like, now we're, like, getting to the 5th month. And he was like, I'm not ready for a relationship. And I was like, what the freak? And I don't curse, by the way, so I say freak. But I was like, what the freak? I was like, you're telling me this now? I've been led on for like 5 months now. I was just kind of like, what the heck? Like, I can't believe, like, this is happening right now. And I was like, but I didn't want to lose him, like, as a friend or anything. And he didn't want to lose me. And we had a whole conversation.
Were you already posting with him at this time?
Yeah.
Face or no face?
Face.
This was like another red flag for me. Like, he literally, so they're working, right? Mackenzie and me are working, and he wanted to come along. So I'm like, okay, like, great. So
I didn't mind him coming along to my things.
Be babysitting, you know, because my focus is about Mackenzie and Reef, and now I got this, you know, tag along.
But I didn't mind him coming along or anything like that.
Because you weren't.
Because you wanted him there, duh.
Yeah.
Momsy didn't.
and all of a sudden, like, he starts this conversation in depth about stuff that I was like, like, the things that were coming out that he was talking about. I was like, you know, you don't really know me, and you already know that I'm apprehensive about you, and now you're going to volunteer this information. What are we gathering from
Yeah,
here? Like,
he did some things in his past and stuff like that.
There was just more red flags.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so now you've just given me more that...
Well, I don't mind saying this. People already knows about him. His hometown posted about him. But, like, people found out he cheated and everything like that, and he got blasted on social media in his hometown for it.
And he told you that?
Yeah. So he's telling me, he's like, I just want to tell you, like, how this, you know, how I cheated on my last girlfriend, and, like, she was...
Because I personally think...
She was kind of crazy.
I personally think flirting is already cheating. So kissing a different girl, it's absolutely cheating.
He went beyond the kissing and the flirting. Yes, he did. But it was like him calling out, like, the girl that she was crazy and that the mom was crazy. And I'm sitting here going, dude.
Like, he said he'd been in toxic.
So now you're the crazy mom and you're the crazy.
No, so.
No, right? The part 2, though, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, so you're, like, you're giving me toxic vibes. Right,
well, yeah, because he, like, I guess, like, well, I just learned or, like, saw, like, I don't know necessarily if in his first relationship he was toxic, but, like, he was in 3 toxic relationships, and sometimes being in so many different toxic relationships, you turn into the toxic person completely,
Or
the abuse,
he was just
or
the toxic
or
one
he
the
was the
whole
toxic
time.
person from the whole
He
time.
was.
I
But
hung
either
on to
way,
that.
Yeah, he was.
but like
I
when
think he just blamed it on everybody
Yeah,
else.
he doesn't know how to learn from it. So in fact, that's why he's still doing it.
no,
in
and
this
some
moment.
like unfortunately that's like
Yes.
with abuse and toxicity, like when you're sometimes either around that or you are the person, like you could very much flip the story. And like while we were talking, all his like ex-friends or ex-relationships all came and warned me about him, like, hey, he's a cheater, hey, he like does abusive things and stuff like
she
that.
was getting DMs, you know, in the private part.
But it's really hard through
Me.
social media when you do get those messages and stuff like that. They're like, oh, are you getting these messages because, like, you know, people are actually genuinely warning you? Or are you getting these messages because people just want to mess with you?
Okay, well, now let me tell you something. I used to think that too, until it happened every single time where they were all right. So now, if anyone says anything, really dig into that.
To be honest, how I view it is like there are some girls who are literally insane, right? But genuinely, like, he's not that special. So, sis, the girl that's trying to DM you that just wrote out a whole paragraph telling you how shitty he is, why would she feel the need to do that in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, if he's not that special, he's not, like, a really cool dude, like, why would they spend the time to come to you and be like, you need to know this is going on? And guys always are like, yeah, she's just crazy. They're just crazy and they're just saying things because they want to ruin us. They don't care that much.
There's different points in times where he did, like, try to almost turn me against my parents and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh,
Just
so
be like,
many.
you know, your parents don't want, like, want you in a relationship. You know, they want you to yourselves or anything like, you know, they don't like me and stuff like that. I'm like, no, my parents, like, they genuine, like, my dad would be like, if he's half as decent as my older cousin back in Tallahassee, shout out to you, Preston. My dad loves you. He thinks you're a great man. Yeah, he thinks you're a great man. But he was like, if he's half as decent as a man Preston is, then he's good in my book. And so, like, my dad didn't necessarily hear about all, like, he did hear, and he was starting to be like, hey, Mackenzie. And my mom was like, kind of straight from the start, my mom was always like, nah. But my dad was like, kind of like then going into like, hey, Mackenzie and stuff like that. And at one point in time when he told me he wasn't ready, I was like, well, I can't be that person for you. Like, that's not fair to me. And like, he had a meltdown. I was like upset. I was crying because he was like, I don't want to lose you. This is not fair. Like, I can't, like, you said you were going to be there for me. And I was like, well, how is it fair to me that I'm going to be that person for you when I like you, but we're not together? I'm like, how is that fair to me? Like,
I
that's
never
not
get
fair.
that.
I'm like, that's not fair to me. Like, I need space. Like, if you need me, like, I'm here to call, but I can't be on the phone with you now 24/7 anymore because I know that you don't want to be in a relationship with me. And that's not fair to me because I, you know, took down all my walls and everything. I opened my windows for you. I let you into my family. I let you stay with me for like weeks at a time. And
we gave him a room.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, just because.
Well, because at one point
I didn't want him to be unsafe.
Yeah, and at one point in time, like, with what happened with, you know, his, like, ex and everything like that, he messed up. And so there was a lot of people in his hometown that, you know, like, thought very badly at him and everything like that because of what he did and stuff like that. And I'm not saying the girl was innocent either. In his other relationship, I found out things about her or anything. But do I know necessarily if those things are true? No, because he lied to me throughout my relationship. So do I necessarily believe what he told me about the girl is true? No. And will I ever know? Probably not, because I'm not going to go, like, hit her up or anything like that.
Well, the thing, it's not that important to you.
It's
you
not.
know what I mean? Like, you're going to move on with your life. You're going to do 700 better things than he's going to 7,000 better things than he's going to do with, and it's, like, literally not, it doesn't matter. Genuinely.
Yeah, it's
you know
just unfortunate, like, kind of, like, how we ended it or anything like that, because I genuinely, like, never wanted to necessarily, like, even though we had fights and, like, you know, the first time we broke up, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was not innocent. Like, I wasn't, like, never did I, like, like cheat on him or anything like that or go and flirt with another guy. No, I never did that. Did he flirt with me in front of flirt to other girls in front of me? Oh yeah, the first time we almost broke up, not actually broke up, almost broke up was because of that reason. And he was going to break up with me because I made a comment after it. Because I was just like, oh, if you could do that if you could do that right in front of my face, I wonder what you do behind my back. That was like our first big, yeah. This was like.
That's where you should have.
Yeah, and that was just
more red flag.
Yeah, there was
so many.
Yeah, and then the person I told you, he was no longer like he said he broke was not with her after a week and everything like that. Well, I don't necessarily have anything against her other than I was told that she didn't like him, he didn't like her. We broke up for the first official time and everything like that. Because, I invited him to hang out with me. And I'm not saying it's her fault or anything like that. But I invited him to hang out with me for a day and, have fun. And all I know is I see he's with her and everything. Her and her brother. And I'm just like, what the heck? And that was,
That's when he came down to L.A. and
decided to lie about it.
Didn't tell her.
Yeah.
Didn't think we would find out.
I'm the same.
And how far is the drive from his house to yours?
Hour and 15.
Yeah. So, and he doesn't drive?
He does drive.
Oh,
he does drive.
Okay, yeah.
But when he would come,
get mad because she doesn't drive.
Yeah, and he would complain to me or be like, "Oh, you owe me gas money now."
But then would drive and see this girl who lives 10 minutes from you, probably.
No.
Yeah, not even.
Yeah,
not even. She was even a further drive and stuff like that than to me.
Well.
That was the first time, that's the first time we broke up and everything like that. And I'm the type of person that, if you can lie about things like that, what else are you? If you can lie about small things, what else are you lying about to me? And so there was one point in time, and maybe this should have been, once this happened, I should have just kind of, instead of, not trusting him and having, this, I guess, ill feeling about the whole thing, I maybe should have just probably broke up with him right then and there. But he was being very untrustworthy. So, I was very open about, my phone. He was very open about his phone. So, he became very unopen about location. He was like, I'm not sharing my location with you. And I was just like, why?
Another one.
I was like, why? I was like, I didn't understand what the problem was. I was like, why? I don't have a problem sharing you my location. What's the problem? I just never really understood it. And he would just give me excuses, on end. And I more wanted it for safety reasons because he got into an accident one time driving back to his house. So I wanted it because of safety reasons.
I mean, shit, I have Alex's, same shit.
I also look at Dana's all the time. I'll be like,
yeah.
where is she?
It's safety reasons for real. What's the difference? You guys said you were best friends before?
Exactly. And so I didn't.
Just looking out for each other.
And I didn't understand the problem with it. So when he was giving me such a hard time about it, I was like, why are you keeping your location off? He was just was so against it. And then just one day I turned on his Snapchat and turned on his location, and I noticed at certain points in times he would say where he is, he wouldn't say where he was, and it's not even a 24-hour 24/7 location. It's literally only when he goes on the app, and he'd go on the app maybe 3 times a day. That was it. Me, I go on my Snapchat 24/7.
Yeah,
but his was 3 times a day, and that's I'm definitely saying I guess the thing that I can be considered where I messed up and stuff like that. Because one, I'm very open and honest. And I don't want to first of all, say the things he messed up on and for me to not go and say what I messed up. And that was the thing.
I don't even say that's a huge mess up.
I
just think that's
where you messed up.
Because she went on his phone and turned the location on.
Why is that sus?
Exactly, he was being sus.
I don't you were talking and you were dating each other and you wanted his location and so you took his phone and you turned it on. It's not you went through it and it's not you went. You didn't do anything bad. I would do that to my girlfriend tomorrow. If she turned her location off, I'm stealing her phone. I'm gonna go turn on and send me all of her passwords too.
I mean, he literally got into an accident maybe 10-15 minutes from our house
and didn't tell us.
And didn't tell us. He didn't even tell his mom. He didn't even tell his mom. He called his dad, and his mom had a lot of anxiety about
him driving,
which that's okay and stuff like that. Because I know my mom would have the same thing if I went and started driving.
No, but she would, I feel like he would make her worry unnecessarily. Like, I'd be like, dude, it's your mom and dad. Like, the way he would speak about his parents, another red flag. The way that he would speak about his parents, and I met them, and they were good people, like, you know, authentic and really just looking out for him.
No, yeah, I don't wish anything bad against his family. I don't even wish anything bad against him or something like that. His family was always very sweet to me and stuff like that when I came over.
And they were just overprotective, like any, you know, listen, we live in a very, you know, we live in a difficult world where, you know, if anything could be eliminated where you don't have to worry, or your worry is less, you know, for people that you love and you care about, you want to provide that. So, you know, that was my justification with him and stuff like that. But, you know, he just had no understanding of why Mackenzie was so close with her mom and dad. You know, we just have a very open and, you know, very solid relationship. And
yeah, but like that wasn't even like, that was like a problem and stuff like that, but it was more becoming a problem of like how he was like treating me and stuff. Like, that was like, we did have a problem with like him going against my parents, but like at one point in time, he started becoming a lot cooler and everything like that in that situation. But then in other situations, it started becoming even worse and more toxic. And, you know, my dad would always be like, is it better to have a person who's been in 3 toxic relationships or a person who has been in 0 relationships? Like, he'd be like, oh, well, I know more about relationships. I know what's better. I'm older. Because he is older than me. But I was like, but you've also been in 3 toxic relationships. Realize I haven't been in that yet. Yes, do I have trust issues and stuff like that? But I was like, I trusted you and everything like that. So like, I don't have anything against you or anything unless you start making me worry, which at that point in time he did. And that's when we broke up. We weren't together for a week. When we got back together, everything was going great. Like, we broke up, I think, in the first, like, when we officially started dating, we broke up in the first, like month. Like, after a month, we broke up or something. No, it was longer than a month because we had our 1-month anniversary. I think it was, like, we were about to have our 2-month anniversary. And this is, like, when we were officially, yeah, she got us back together. I was so, guys, let me tell you, both of us were like, because at the time we really did care about each other. And, you know, my mom got us back together. And, you know, the first month, 2 months, it was great. All of a sudden, like, playlists came around. Worst decision of my life. Unfortunately, I found out later on, like, we weren't completely official everyone knew we were together, but I didn't go out on social media yet, say we were together, because one red flag, another red flag. If the guy does not want you saying that you are together, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, I was very much, as soon as we announced we were together, I was like, I want to announce it. And he was like, no, I don't want it being announced. Like, he wanted to wait a year.
What?
A year till we announced it. But
wanted me that means a year without him on your fucking pages.
That means no. That means a year with me still posting with him. Just saying he's my best friend.
Yeah, he still wanted the content.
Yeah. When I get nightmares, this is like TMI, I guess. But when I get nightmares and everything like that, my nightmares are very much come true. And I got a nightmare about that one night. And the next morning, he was staying over the house. The next morning, he like asked to make content. And I was very much like, I had a conversation with my parents. My mom and dad were like, well, we've been telling you to slow down your content, but especially if you're getting a nightmare, like, this is your sign and stuff like that. So I did. That day I wasn't trying to make any content with him. He was just like, why aren't you making content? And like, literally, like, it was very weird. And I had a conversation with and I thought he made me feel better at the time because he was like, I'm not going to use you wrong. Wrong. And he's like, I would never, like, absolutely, like, like, I'm here for the long run, blah, blah, blah. Well, in his own words and everything. And I was like, okay. And, I thought we were all good. And I wasn't making as much content as I was with him before. But, like, we were still making content. And he didn't want me posting that we were together or anything like that. Playlist comes along And I was like, well, if you don't want me posting we're together, then should I just say I'm single? Like, should I just say, if someone asks we're together, what do you want me to say? Like, then do I also, like, not hold your hand? Because, like, he was like, oh, I'm going to come to, like, meet and greets and everything like that. And I was like, well, do I? Because usually how I'd, like, greet him was, like, I'd give him a kiss. I was like, so, like, if you don't want me announcing it, then we shouldn't probably, like, kiss or hold hands or anything like that at playlists and stuff like that. And he was like, no, like, why would we do that, blah, blah. And I was like, well, you don't want me announcing it on social media. He's like, well, playlist would be the perfect time to announce it. And I was like, because all my fans are there at the same exact time. So that's, you know, I guess great for you and stuff like that. I was like, no, like, I was like, I'm okay with, like, being, like, acting normally, but I don't think
Cloud chaser alert.
And I was like, I don't think playlist is the best time to announce it, especially if all of a sudden you think it's the best time because everyone's gonna be there. I was like, I was just getting a funny feeling about it. And then I come to now realize afterwards, I had a friend who came up to me and she was just like, are you guys together? And he was originally supposed to be staying in my hotel room. We had a huge suite that very thankful for Playlist that they gave me that.
We love you, Playlist.
Yeah. And they gave us a huge suite, so he was going to stay with us. We had enough room and everything. The original plan was for him to stay with us. Then all of a sudden I come to find out he's staying in a house with a bunch of girls. And I'm the type of person who's I'm a very trustworthy girlfriend. Like, I've had trust issues and he's given me trust issues for sure. But I was still like, oh, like, you know, like, I'm totally okay with it as long as, like, they know that I'm dating you. Like, I was totally okay. And then, you know, I had a friend come up to me and she was just like, I can't tell. Are you dating him or not? Like, or are you just best friends? Like, you're not dating, right? And I was just like, oh, no, we're dating. I was just like, we just haven't announced it on social media. And at the time, I wasn't that close with her. And she was just like, oh, okay. And she was just like, okay, gotcha. And I, like, made a comment. And she's just like, ha, 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 like, yeah, like, for sure, I'll let you know. But I wasn't, like, close to her or anything. So I don't expect her to, like, all of a sudden come into the situation because I barely know her or anything like that. So I don't expect for her to be like, oh, yeah, he's saying this, blah, 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 or anything like that. I come to find out after we broke up that he was telling everyone he was single at the house. And he was acting real, like, poopy to me during, like, Playlist. He was getting upset with me. And you know how we mentioned earlier that, like, you invite them to somewhere and then they're like, well, I'm not going unless my best friend goes. Yeah. Well, that happened. And it was pretty, a few times. Like, I'm like, are you kidding me? And be like, no, fine. I'm just going to hang out with, like, everyone at the house then. Might as well. Everyone's at the house is a girl.
Like Universal's literally.
No, that was so lit.
That was so awesome.
There was like no lines. They opened up the best rides.
And he would just make me feel so bad. He would be like, I know you can get like my best friend in. If you don't want it, fine. If you don't, like, you basically don't love me if you're not gonna get him in it or me. And I was like, are you? And I got
strict with it too.
I know.
And like I got like I'm like I freaking got you in. Like, be thankful and be lucky I got you in. Like, and he'd just be like, I know you can do it, blah, blah, blah. Like, he'd be like, I know your mom would do anything if you asked for it and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm inviting you. I'm not inviting you and your whole gang and everything like that. He would be like, whatever is good for the goose is good for the ganders. Like, kind of like the thing. But I'm like, just because something is good for you doesn't mean it's good for me. Like that doesn't make sense. Like, at all. Or like, and I'm also the type of person like, okay.
He didn't think like that because I feel like he had a different set of rules.
No, what's good for him. No, he thought what's good for him is good for me too. Like, I'm okay with it and stuff like that. But when it came to me, if I did the same thing, like I slept over my guy best friend's house that I've known 6 years before him. And he slept on the other side of his apartment. He lives in an apartment and everything.
And
with his
mom
parents.
And dad.
With his parents. Let me mind you. With his parents and everything like that. And there's only 2 places to sleep. His parents' room or his room. He slept with his parents. His parents slept in his room. I slept in his room. He slept with his parents. Okay? So we're in completely 2 opposite ends of the apartment. Like 2 different rooms. I literally took over his bathroom and his, and his bedroom. And I only did that because at the time, it was 4 a.m. My mom, it didn't make sense for my mom to come pick me up because 1, I was exhausted. My mom was exhausted. It's 4 a.m. mind you. And it's almost a 45-minute drive to come get me And then mind you,
back.
and then to get back to the house is another 45-minute drive. So
do that?
no, it's almost a 2-hour drive. And at the time, it'd be like 5:36 in the morning by the time we got home. And his parents don't want to drive me to like my house because one, I'd be staying there by myself. And at that place in time, the person who was staying in front of us had a crazy psycho husband who was breaking into cars. So I'm like, why the heck am I gonna stay there why the heck am I gonna stay there by myself? Like, absolutely not. And it like didn't make sense. And so like he got mad at me because I slept over his house. And
it's only because he knows.
Oh no, and he at the time he wanted at the time he wanted to break up with me. And I was very much like, I don't think this is like, if you want to break up with me, you want to break up with me. If you want to listen to what your friends say, but I know you didn't tell them the full story and stuff like that. Because I asked, like, did you tell them that I slept on a completely different thing? I was like, did you tell them I couldn't get home? Did you tell your friends? And he'd go and get upset with me if I asked for somebody else's opinion on the relationship. Like, if I got into a situation, like an argument or anything like that, like, did I do something wrong? Did he do something wrong? Like, what's going on? I'd go and ask my parents, or I'd go and ask like my best friend, and I'd be like, hey, like, I just need some clarity. Like, what's like, someone just talk to you about what's happening. And he'd get upset with me that I go and talk to somebody, and he'd be like, I don't talk to anybody, or blah, 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 or anything like that. And all of a sudden, like, during this argument, he'd be like, I asked my friends for all their opinions. I was like, so you get mad at me if I go and talk to my family, my actual parents, but you go and talk to your friends who let me tell you, all his friends, like, had really, like, the things I heard that he would tell me about his friend's relationship, I was like, and you're asking these people for advice? Like, really? Yeah. Like,
also,
ask your
what's
parents.
Up with dudes being all like, why does all of your friends know our information? It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Why are you scared?
Well, it's like, if like you don't want them to know their information, don't do anything.
Exactly.
Bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, he was so afraid of you, Dana.
Thank God.
So afraid of you. So
Thank
afraid.
God. And he still better be, because next time I see him, bro, I'm saying something. I don't give a fuck.
No, yeah.
It should be.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, it was just like things like that. And I'd be like, and like that night, I'd be like, fine, if you want to break up with me, you want to break up with me. I don't think this is a great reason, but never once did I complain about you sleeping. And that wasn't the only time he slept over with a bunch of girls. He slept with like, and I never had a problem. If he knew the person or anything like that, and he went and slept over a girl's house and stuff like that, I never had a problem. He did it before at a girl's beach house that he knew and like knew through growing up. And never once did I have a problem. I was like, I did not have a problem.
Probably should have had a problem.
And no, but like, I didn't have a problem. And like, he barely kept in touch with me that night. And like, I had a problem that he did not keep in touch with me. That was my problem. I did not keep in touch.
Okay, yeah, see, that's the problem.
That's my only thing. If you keep in touch with me, there's no problem. I kept in touch with him that whole entire night and everything like that. I called him straight in the morning when I woke up. I was like, hi, blah, blah, I miss you. Yada, yada. Even though I saw him the night before, I was like, hi, I miss you, blah, blah. Here I am. I'm at like my best friend's house, blah, blah. And like all of a sudden, like, ghosted me. And then the next, like, 2 days later, he was just like, I think we need to talk. And I was like, you know, if you want to break up with me, break up with me. I don't think it's a smart reason. Just know that whenever you were in these situations, never once did I complain about you or anything. And you were with random girls. Like,
yeah,
I'm with my best friend I've known for over 6 years.
Yeah, and that's also another thing. Like, he should introduce you to, like, these girls, too.
Oh,
like, this is my girlfriend.
Yeah, these are like, I know I have a lot of guy friends, and every single guy I introduce to always. Like, there's not one person that I hang out with that he has not met in person.
Oh, no, they went
to
and he wasn't even introducing her properly.
No,
What?
Instead, this is a great story. Instead, he had a girl start flirting with him. And she was just like, hi, like that type of thing. Like,
no.
And like, I walked up into the conversation because I was talking with somebody else. I was talking with an influencer. This was during VidCon. And this is when we were celebrating, I think, like 3 months or something like that, maybe. I went up into the conversation because I noticed the corner of my eye. I was like, this girl's getting really touchy. Like, this is making me uncomfortable. So I walked in the conversation, and not once did he ever be like, hey, this is my girlfriend. This is that. And I'm like looking him like dead in the eyes. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? And she's just like, oh, do you want to hang out? Blah, blah,
You should
blah.
have been like, hi, I'm his girlfriend. And
I
say in
wanted to
his
see
face.
I wanted to see what he was going to do. Like, that was my thing. I want to see, because personally, I've been in those situations where, like, someone random came up to me and started flirting me. And very much so, I'm like, sir, where are you? Like, I need you now. Or I have a boyfriend, like, sorry. And if the person doesn't listen, that's another thing. Like, I wanted to see, like, what he was going to do, because, like, I've been put in those situations, and very much, I'm like, hey, yo, where are you? Or, like, to my friend, hey, go get him. Like, I'm very much like, even
as it should be.
even before, when we were just exclusive, even before then, like, I was very much like, I never, like, want anyone to, like, not that they don't trust me, but I don't want anyone to ever overthink a situation. I'm an overthinker. So, like, I'm going to make sure my person
That's
does
how
not
I am.
overthink how
Yeah.
I overthink.
Exactly.
And I expect the same way, especially if you know I'm a freaking overthinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he completely was just like, continue talking to the girl. And I was like looking straight at him, like, what are you doing? Like, and then his like, at the time, like, he's no longer his friend, but his ex-friend comes up behind me and she's like, oh, are you guys together? Me and his friend, okay? And he's like, no, we're not together. And she like looks at me and then she goes straight back to like him and his friend. She goes, oh, what's your new friend's name? Not to me, not this friend, different friend. And she's like, oh, what's his name? He goes, hi, my name's blah, blah. And they're like, oh my God, blah, blah. And then like later on in the conversation, like I'm still just like sitting here. This is probably like a 7-minute conversation or something like that. And I'm just like, I don't know, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's gonna say something at one point in time. She goes, oh wait, like she's about to leave, and she goes, oh wait, what's your name? I was like, oh, I'm Mackenzie. And she goes, oh, so you're just their friend? I was like, no, I'm actually his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm actually his girlfriend. She goes, oh, and she goes, oh, okay. And then she looks at him. She goes, if you want to hang out later, let me know. And then like looks at him and he like kind of just like smiles at her. And I'm just like completely like stunned and shocked. I'm like, what did I just freaking witness? Like, I don't even know what to think at this moment in time or anything. And this is just like a little like, this is like a small situation that I ever had with him. This is the smallest situation I ever had. And I walk away and he's like, what's your problem? And I was like, well, if you can do that right in front of my face, what can you do behind my back then? Like, if you're that comfortable with doing it in front of me.
He was always extremely defensive. Like, what's your problem?
Oh, yeah. And that became like a whole fight. There was a whole fight about social media. Like, even before announcing we were together, even before saying we were exclusive, my content has always been, like, I've always grown up around guys. So I would dance with a bunch of my guy friends around and they would hype me up. And he got upset with me for making a video where I was dancing, like, in front of a bunch of guys and everything like that. And he was just like, I can't believe, like, he got so upset with me that, like, he was like, I ended up taking the post down and everything. It's back up and all that stuff. But, like, I ended up taking the post down because he got so upset. And I was just like, I don't have to do this, but I'm doing this because of how upset you are. And, like, there was another trend that I did where it was kind of like the baby finally my boyfriend. Like, that was the song. And so my brother and I started that trend, and I would do it with, like, not, like, it wasn't, I never saw a guy or anything like that. But I always, like, would make relatable content. Oh, when you, like, see when your waiters, like, when you have a cute waiter.
Yeah.
Like, there's a cute person at the ice skate rink. Like, every single time I went on the flight.
No,
like,
yeah, I literally saw those.
And so, like,
That
we
was
originally started on the plane, and so we weren't together or anything yet. And I went and made a video, and he basically went off on me, ghosted me like completely for like 3 days, and then like he's basically like, oh, I can't get into a relationship because, you know, if you think this is okay to do. And I was like, we're not even together.
Yeah.
And like that was a whole like week fight or something like that.
What the fuck?
It was like so bad. And like I ended up taking down the post, apologizing, but I was like, this is not gonna happen again. But I was like, realize if we were together, I would have been like, hey, it's his name, like, with me and stuff like that. I would have been like, oh, haha, like, I'm talking about my boyfriend. Like, if we announced we were together and if we actually were together and stuff like that. And that was, like, always the problem, that, like, he wanted me to post him on social media but say he was my best friend. And I was like...
He just, to be honest, there were a lot of red flags. He had a very bad temper. There were
very
things
bad.
As a mom that really genuinely I had concerns about.
And, like, I always, like, tried convincing my mom, like, because he does have a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and my mom was always worried about that. And I was always like, no, it's okay. Like, he's never going to do anything. But in the same sentence where I say he's never going to do anything, he's going to do something. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, like, I never thought he would ever, like, put his hands on me or anything like that. But, well, the only thing I can say is I was completely wrong.
Literally, her dad and I were sitting in, like, you don't even know about this. We were in the garage 2 nights ago talking about this. And, like, we're very, like, we have a very close relationship with our kids. But I'm very blessed to be super
Yeah,
close
and I never
with
told my
Mackenzie.
parents.
And to know, like, that this kid put his hands on my daughter and manhandled her, and that she didn't feel like she could come to us, and I'm sharing this because there are other moms out there, and there are other, influencers and young girls that are watching this, and you need to trust someone. Like, I feel terrible that my daughter did not tell me this, and, I saw the handwriting on the wall. I saw that he had a temper. He was a black belt in jiu-jitsu and everything. And, this wasn't just one occasion. And it's so disturbing and upsetting. And to know the kind of individual that, to be right, I cannot tell you how many times I wish I had been wrong.
Yeah.
Like, to this day. And, at the end of the day, my children are my blessings, and my husband and I feel very strongly about this. Like, I'd rather be the bad guy and be more overprotective and dot those I's and cross those T's, because you can't undo what's already done. But I mean, looking back,
but even after we broke up, I still never even, like, told you and stuff like that, just because, like...
So, and to, like, put that out there, because there is a lot of people that go through an abusive relationship and they do the same thing. Literally, my boyfriend was telling me about how people would buy, like, cream to, like, cover up the bruises because people didn't want to know what
Makeup.
was, like... But, like, what was that thing that was holding you back?
From saying anything?
Yeah.
Well, the thing that was holding me back and stuff like that...
But she thought she could fix him.
Not necessarily that I could fix him or anything like that. Cheating wise, yeah, I thought I could fix him and stuff like that. But, like, what was holding me back from, like, saying anything was he was my best friend. Like, I don't want to lose my best friend.
Yeah.
And so that was the thing. He was the person I came to, and I talked to him about everything. So, and at one point in time, I was friends with this girl, and I ended my relationship there was things that happened between us two, but, like, I ended it also because of him and stuff that he told me that she said, which unfortunately, like she tells me aren't true and stuff like that. And, like, I've known her for years and years and years, but, like, she was the person I always talked about with. And then once losing her and all that stuff, it was just him. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I don't want,
like that's all you knew.
Yeah, and he knew everything about me and stuff like that. So I was like, I don't want to go and lose. Like, I'm now friends with her again. I'm very glad that we've reconnected and, like, kind of, like, figured out everything that kind of happened while I was, like, in a relationship with him, because he lied to me a lot about pretty much everybody. And I chose to believe him because I was like, why would someone who's my boyfriend, why would my boyfriend or the person who says I love you, why would he lie to me about those things? And I was like, it's not like it's a competition or anything like that. And that's how I, like, thought of it. Like, I'm not competing, like, against his other friends or anything like that. Like, I don't feel like I'm competing. Like, 100%. I feel like when you're in a relationship, you're in your own lane. You're not competing against his friends.
You should also want the person that you're in love with to have a large support system and friends around them and to be happy and to.
Well, he was very much like he didn't have like he was very like does not have a lot of close friends because of things.
That's another red flag. If someone does not have a lot of like friends around them or people close to them where they cannot like name to you off like some people around them that they know, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like my old roommate, she had no friends. We now know why.
Or like a lot of friends that are very much younger than they are.
Oh yeah.
Like he, is like had these unbelievable relationships with 13, 14, and 15-year-olds that were like baffling to me.
And how old is he?
About to turn 20. I was always thinking like he's my best friend. Like I don't want to lose my best friend. So that's like kind of like how I was like thinking and everything like that. And like because I've lost a lot of like friends through people being fake or anything like that through like just finding out. So I was like, I don't want to lose another person. Like, and I already lost like 2 really close friends at that moment in time. So like from him saying things that I thought were true. So I was like, I don't want to lose like someone else. Like,
now can I ask you this though? Is also because fuck this guy and I'm gonna cuss, and I know she's being really nice and she's very strong for this, but fuck this guy. Like,
I could also imagine like you like speaking up, because I didn't speak up about, I never got like physically like hurt, like, or that's a lie. I did before, and but the times I didn't want to speak up was I didn't want it to be real. I didn't want everyone around me to know what was actually happening. Like you didn't want your mom to like know that was like and then having to like feel that in yourself where you're telling someone else and have their reaction. Like obviously that's like it's.
But I also wanted people to think good about him because I knew a lot of people like
did not.
Some people saw things that he like did to me like in public, and then. Also, it's just, like, I have, like, really good people in my life who are, like, super protective of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, like, at the beginning, he was, like, really great and everything like that. So I wanted people to see how I first met him and stuff. So, like, I didn't want people knowing the bad things. Because I was like, if I tell people the bad things, then almost, like, they're right.
Yeah, but would you want, like, another girl? Like, imagine looking at a year ago version of you, right? And you have to talk to her, you have to have a conversation, you have to tell her everything that he did to you. Would you still talk to him and have that moment with him?
Okay. Would I go and talk to him now?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, let me
You better say no.
Okay. Now, like, okay.
Like, what the hell?
No. Okay, no.
Spending the night at y'all's house if she's about to say yes right now.
No. Okay. So, no, what I'm trying to say.
I know what she's going to say.
No, what I'm trying to say is I would not talk to him or anything like that. Like, I personally don't care to have a relationship with him or anything like that. But, like, when we broke up, I broke up with him. I don't have a problem saying why we broke up. The reason we broke up was because he went online with his friend saying that they were single. And he brought the video to my attention, did not realize it. And will I ever know if he was lying to me, whether he knew that his friend was going to post that or not? I absolutely have no idea because of how much he lied to me during the relation. But probably. He probably knew. He probably knew, but I was really trying to be like, you didn't know about the video or anything like that. And the video ended up going viral, and I had a problem with it because, one, I don't like people who are using me or using my relationship for social media or for clout or for you to gain followers. And this person basically hopped onto our relationship and everything like that. And we were doing pretty good and everything like that. This whole social media post got brought up to me. I had a problem with it. I basically said, don't allow this to happen again. I didn't even say take down the post or anything like that. And all the comments were just like, oh my God, are they together? Are they apart? Like, what's going on? And I was getting messages like, Mackenzie, how stupid are you for you allow your boyfriend to go online and say he's single? And I wasn't paying attention to it at first. And I was just like, he said he's going to fix it. He's going to fix it. I gave him 3 days or more to talk to his friend. And I just said, hey, talk to your friend. Tell him he just don't do it again. That's all I said. I was being pretty cool about the situation and everything. And then all of a sudden, I see the video is pinned. It's gone viral. My family is now telling me about this video and is now being brought up to their attention. I was like, once it's being brought up to my family's attention, you know, I need to figure out what's going on right now. And the video wasn't pinned before, and now it's pinned because it's the guy's most viral video.
Yeah.
And so I, like, asked him, I was like, hey, like, I told you, like, this video did not need to be pinned. It could have been brought down to the guy's, like, you know, middle of his page and stuff like that. I was like, I don't like how he's pinning it and blah, blah, blah.
I think it's still pinned.
Yeah, it's still pinned. But now he's single, so who cares? So, but, like, I was just like, I don't like this. And I was like, if you're going to make a post, like, saying, like, maybe, like, duetting the video and be like, haha, I'm with my girlfriend, like, then I don't have a problem because you're bringing attention that you have a girlfriend and stuff like that. And now we've announced that we're dating and stuff like that, but not, like, made, like, an official post or anything like that. It wasn't like, hey,
it
guys.
It was very obvious that you two were together. Let's be fucking for real.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knew you guys were dating. Like, everybody and their mom knew. No matter, you don't even have to make a post about it. I thought you guys were dating the second you made your first 3 videos. Because it's like you were hiding his face, and then all of a sudden you weren't. I thought that was the announcement. Like, this is my man. Like, here's his face.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, there is no excuses for that.
Yeah, and he just went on. No, we announced we were dating and everything like that. So, like, for him to go and then say we're single, everyone was like, well, did they break up? What happened? What's going on? Like, those were all the comments. And then for the video to get pinned, I was like, this is my second strike, basically. And then my third strike was when it got posted 3 more times. And
what?
I was just basically like, I gave you now almost a week to fix it. And his excuse was, I'm sick. But like, wait. He was going, cough, cough, I'm sick, as I'm seeing him work out, go to the gym, and then go and eat food and have fun with his friends. Go have fun with his friends. And then I go and be like, hey, what do you mean you're sick? Like, are you not going to gym? And he'd be like, oh, I'm only going to the sauna. Like, I'm not working out. And I'd be like, oh, so this video is not you? This video is not you working out with your friends? And, like, then it was just little lies. Like, more little lies like that, which happened near the end of the first time we broke up and everything like that. And I was just basically like, I told you to fix this. I gave you a week to fix this, not including the 3 days that you were, like, sick at my house. And, like, I don't have a problem taking care of him and everything like that. And I'm glad that I, like, got to spend that time with him. But I was like, I gave you over a week to fix this, and you still couldn't have fixed it. And it literally is just a 5-minute phone call. Hey, how stupid are you for you to be posting that, you know, I'm single while I'm in a relationship with my girl, like, with her. And I basically told him, I was like, well, and he was just like, well, if you wanted it done, you should have done it yourself. And I was like, really? Really? He's not my friend. I barely know him. I've only met him 2 times with you. I was like, but I should go message him? I was like, fine. No. I was like, but that was first strike. That was second strike. And third strike was the 3 more posts. And I was like, and you're done. You're out. This sucks. Like, wow. I was really, like, I guess not worth a 5-minute phone call. Like, before, he really didn't necessarily care about losing me. I cared about losing him. Like, obviously. Even though with the things of what he did to me and, like, things he caused for me, I almost still have, like, a weird trauma bond at that point. Yeah, and I was just like, I didn't still want to lose him. And, you know, when people, even with people going through stuff, like, I completely feel like you don't want to lose that person because you, even though that person caused you lots of pain, but that person also gave you lots of happiness. And so that's where my mindset was like, I'll take another terrible fight or terrible thing in order to have one more happy day. Like, that's how my thought process was. But, like, when you say you love someone, you say you love someone with your whole heart, and that's at least how I was raised. And when you go to marry someone, you go and say, like, in the good times, the bad times, and sick and health. So, like, that's how I personally thought. And I'm the type of person, like, not that I date to marry, but I don't just go and, like, date people.
Well, what's the point of not dating to marry?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly.
Date to break up?
So, like, yeah, exactly. But, like, I don't want to put in the guy's head that I'm, like, gonna marry that person at that point.
You should.
Oh,
like, you should.
But, like, I had
my girlfriend now. In the beginning of our relationship, I was literally like, I am being so serious about this. We're not gonna date unless it's, like, going somewhere. Like, I am not
that should be
gonna be in this.
And that's why I told him, like, I was waiting till marriage.
But you're
and I was
young.
like, I told him, I was like, I'm waiting to marriage. I hope it will be, like, I hope you're the guy that, like, I get to marry. Like, I did say that. And we had those conversations. Like, we talked about kids. We talked about where we were going to live. And we had, like, those types of conversations. So I thought, like, just as much as I loved him with my full heart, I thought he felt the same way. And then once he basically didn't necessarily care about losing me, I was still like, I care about you. So he blocked me and everything. And I was just like, how can you end this way? Like, I'm the type of person, like, I need closure. Like, if you want to end things, don't just block me out of the blue, especially when you tell me, like, oh, I'm never going to block you because, like, if we break up, I want you to see my stuff.
What were you
like,
saying yesterday? Sometimes you don't need closure because what's the point of talking to an
That's
ex?
what I'm saying. I said every
Like,
single time
you
that someone
don't-
has ever gone to, like, get closure from someone or has ever...
well, I did.
Like,
I had closure and everything like that. Like, I drove up, like, I drove up.
yeah, but you'll always be left with more answers. No matter how many
Yeah.
questions you ask, no matter how much you sit there, no matter how much closure you ask for, no matter how much you look in their face and they apologize to you, there's always going to be questions that are unanswered. Like, you're sitting here now when you keep on saying after everything you say, like, I don't know, he could have been lying, right? So you
Well, I didn't
you
think that-
you had closure, but in reality, your
No,
brain
wait,
is
hold on.
still thinking.
There's like a whole part. I got closure and I believed him and stuff like that. Like, I drove to him me and my mom drove 3 hours to go see him. Alex was like, nah.
Mom,
We
G,
drove-
what's going on over
No,
here?
we drove-
You take it.
You got the keys. You got the keys.
We drove
I
3
didn't-
hours to go see him. And I had a 7-hour long
She had
conversation
it
with him.
stuck in her head, and
No, but we had a good conversation. We had a great conversation.
but I gotta tell you, like, I sat back. It was like watching this weird movie. Like,
No, because then we hung out with each other. We went out to dinner and we acted like we were still together. Because, you know, feelings are still raw and we still,
That's
like,
why.
we
No,
still liked each other.
That's why I said you don't get closure
Yeah.
from an ex, because what happens, you
Well,
get
'cause
back
we both-
together, you start talking, and you end up
It's
just liked the things, you forget all the things you left about.
Yeah,
which is
we
why you
were.
cannot
That's what we
talk.
told each other. We told each other, hey, like, I told him, I was like, I don't think it's best for us to go and start dating again right now. But we told each other that we were going to get back together.
okay, so I didn't want to do it, but I understood where she was coming from, you know, because we're girls. We're all girls here. And sometimes, you know, you need that door to close to really realize it's done.
But I also never gave him, like, our anniversary present. So I wanted to, like,
She's literally me with blame, bruh. Remember when I drove there after he cheated on me and I gave him the shoes that I made for him?
because, like, I don't.
For his birthday present, I did the same
There's
thing.
two things that come out of closure talk. You either get back together and you like each other, or you realize all the motherfucking ways that you guys were not good for each other, and you stand there and you're like, why am I here? And
Yeah,
why am I having this
fully.
combo? And then you either remove yourself from the combo or you end up back together with the person. That's the only ways that happen at closure talks.
Well, you know, his family, I loved his family too. Like, even though
Girl,
he
you
did.
didn't like his family, but fuck this fool.
I bet he liked your family.
And, like, I was also like, I don't want to do this to his family. Like, I grew up on with his family and stuff like that. Like,
next guy,
his
you'll
grandma-
go on with them.
his
Like,
grandma
fuck
had
that.
Alzheimer's and she didn't know anybody but me. Like, she remembered me. And I was just like,
Girl,
that, like, melted my heart. Like,
Can't
everyone
be.
was always so surprised that she knew me. And so I really, I bet you if, like, I'm never, ever going to go see him or, unfortunately, like, his family
Better
again.
not.
But, like, if I were,
the fuck she mean? Hopefully.
like,
You're not.
like, no, but, like, if I see his family, like, if I'm walking around, like, I'm very much, like, don't have a problem with his family. Like, I wish his family the best.
Well, yeah, you could say hi to them if you're
Yeah.
seeing them at your local Starbucks. But if
Yeah,
you see
exactly.
him, you better run the opposite
Oh,
direction.
no, yeah.
Be
No.
better.
No, that's exactly what he'll do. I know that for sure because I performed the other day and he found out I was performing and left.
Oh no, there were calls to find out if we were coming,
Yeah.
just so he could leave. But that's because
Awkward.
you know, honestly, it's probably to his best because, you know, after everything we have learned, my husband and I, you know, just
Oh, yeah,
without
my
people.
dad was there. Oh, it'd been so
I mean,
bad.
because she literally at a party that, you know, that we talked about.
We broke up and I was still trying to be nice to him. He was being complete, like, douchebag to me when I went to this party that I invited him to. And he went and put his hands on me at the party in front of people.
She stepped into the way of her girlfriend.
No, he wasn't going to push her. He was fully going to push me.
This is not getting any better. Me and Dana and Alex are going to go take care of business.
You're like, anyways, thank you for validating
No,
how shitty of a person he is.
I just hope that someone like
once again, shithead. Is
and no, he
very
apologized. He knew that he knew that he did it, and he was like, "Oh, did I realize I put my hands on you? I'm so sorry." And it's the same thing. Like I could totally, because I was. Before getting to a relationship, I would hear my friends complain about like boyfriends and everything like that. And they'd be like, oh my God, like, and I'd be like, just break up with him. Like, why are you allowing him to do that? And I was very much like on that side, like, come on, girl. Like, what are you doing with your life? And then being on the other side of like the relationship.
Oh, it's hard.
Oh, it's so different. It's so different. And I like learned that situation because like, I would always be like, he'd always say like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And I'd be like, or he'd be like, I'm sorry. And be like, it's okay. Or he'd be like, it's your fault. I'd be like, I'm sorry. And he'd be like, it's okay. Like it'd be things like, it was very much, he was very manipulative where he would do something wrong. And then I would apologize for it at the end. And my dad started warning me about that. And he'd be like, Mackenzie, there's something going on. My mom alrea's had her red flags up. So I don't even need to speak on my mom. But like my dad started saying like, Mackenzie, like you need to watch out. Like, come on.
Also, because we did priorly talk about this before, what were some of the things that you found out after you were done?
Things that I found out was the person that he originally liked and everything like that before me coming into the picture. He used to tell me that he always hated her and never got along with her. And then I come to find out from not only like people that are now my friends, but his friends that he went around
I was
saying,
one of them too.
Yeah, I never knew that. During the relationship, I never knew anything about that.
Because all you knew was that he hated her.
Yeah, that's all I knew was that he hated her, and I was told the same thing, that she didn't like him either. So, and I was always confused why they hung out, and like he lied to me about it a couple times.
He would say that he's friends with her brother.
Yeah, that's what he would say. He'd be like, "Well, I'm friends with her brother," and I'd be like, then why are you lying to me about her? Like, and I never had a problem with him hanging out. Like, me personally, I think, like, I don't believe in, like, I'm like, no exes. Like, I don't like exes. Like, but I understand we're in the industry where sometimes you can see your ex. But I'm like, just send me a message, give me a call. Like, it's not that hard. Like, I told him, like, hey, as long as you text me or call me, there's no problem. And he was never doing that or anything. And I was just, like, always... Like, this is where someone's gonna be like, girl, are you really that dumb? Are you really that blonde? Like, that's where you're gonna, like, have those comments where people say that. And I'm like, that was one thing I found out was he was basically still in love with the person that, you know, I originally, like, met him, like, with him being with her. And that's what I was told by not only my friends, but his friends. And that he would literally say after seeing her, he'd be like, oh my God, dang, she's my dream girl. And like, I never, ever.
Bad.
Yeah. First, to the people who heard about this before, I was just like, why did you never tell me this? Like, I'm the type of person, if I find something wrong about like someone in a relationship, I'm going to go and say something. Because if I was in the same position, I would want to know too.
Yeah.
And... Same. You know, I had to talk with the people who are now my friends, like, why didn't you ever tell me and stuff like that? But they're like, we do want to get involved, which I could understand their position and stuff like that.
Those people who say they don't want to be, like, involved like that,
we have conversations about these motherfuckers.
Don't keep them around. You know what I mean? Like, if anyone ever says that to you, and it's even, I'm not even in a relationship way, this is just in a life way. Like, a friend or anything, like, I would, as soon as someone says, like, something about, like, Dana or something like that, like, I immediately am telling her. And if someone says something about me, she's immediately telling me. Because, like, That's how it was. I would
Literally.
never, if she found out something that someone said about her and I already knew and I was in the conversation, she'd be like, what the actual fuck,
Yeah,
Alex?
like, why didn't you
Yeah.
tell me?
And then I look at her and be like, I didn't want to hurt your feelings because I didn't know the situation. She would literally
Yeah.
look at me and be
Literally.
like, what,
Yeah.
are you crazy? You know what I mean?
well, that was
like-
like, it doesn't make sense. Like, people knew, like, he was, first of all, he
lied to me about like
lied about
smoking,
drinking,
drinking,
smoking, weed,
vaping.
See, and if these people were your friends, they would have sent you pictures in the moment.
Well, okay, so I will say one of my close friends, which I'm so excited he's going to visit me. But anyways, one of my close friends, he would tell everyone that I knew. So with that situation, he told everyone that I knew about it. And so that was the thing. Everyone assumed that, like, my brother, even at the one point in time, I didn't believe my brother because my brother went and never had a conversation with me. And one day he brought it up with me and he was like, oh yeah, you know he does this, right? And like we were having a conversation. I was like, what? Like, I remember clear as a day. I was sitting on my bed, but I was just like, what? And he was like, why are you looking at me like that? And I was like, what are you talking about? And like, that's like the little, like even like a simple lie like that. Like my thing is like, if you're upfront with me that you smoke, drink, or vape, like, okay, if you do it, you do it. Just tell me you do it. Don't hide it behind my back and stuff like that. And like me, I don't do it. So do I necessarily like want to be in a relationship with someone who does that? No, because I feel like somewhat of an outcast. But I'm like, if you're upfront with me and stuff like that, and I really do like you, my opinions change and stuff like that. As long as you don't make me feel bad or feel like an outcast because I don't do it and stuff like that. Then I'm like, I don't have a problem and stuff.
he was sneaky about it.
No.
He lied to me. Like, he's like, yeah, I did all this stuff when I was 16, but I don't do it anymore. And I got to tell you, like, you know, being a parent myself, you know, I actually felt the need to inform his family because to me, you don't know this, but you need to know your kid is drinking, he's smoking, he's vaping, and he's driving. And he thinks he's okay to do all of that.
Yeah, that's
well,
what
it is your place if you're dating, or he's dating your daughter. Therefore, it makes it your place.
And
because
also
you
living
made her.
under
You
your
literally
home.
made her. You know what I mean? If he is like about to date her, you would. If he's gonna marry her one day, who do you become? Mom.
Right.
You're literally mother-in-law. So he should respect you and tell you the truth and everything as much as he tells her the truth.
Yeah.
And you have as much of a place in life to tell the wrongdoings of him to anyone you want to as she does.
Because he couldn't even have said anything. He could have just shut up about it and not even said anything. But, like, he went out of the way to even tell y'all that he doesn't, like, what is
Yeah,
he
makes
doing?
no
Yeah.
sense.
What is he
There's
doing?
And like once I started hearing things, because like I started hearing things from not necessarily people that I completely like trust full on. And before like having like my brother come and tell me about it. But like I asked him, I'd be like, hey, I've heard that you're doing this. Are you doing it? And he'd be like, I can't believe you would go and believe them over me. Like, what the heck? Like, he'd put me in like he'd start manipulating me. And then it would be like, I'd apologize at the end of the day because I trusted other people. And he was like, you know, people just like want to like basically tear you down and don't want what's best for you. You know this, you know, like we know what's going on with your trust issues and stuff like that. Like people are going to try to always like be like, oh, trust me. And he'd make me feel like, dang, wow, are people really doing this to me? Like,
That's why I said no one cares that much, really. Like, literally no
Yeah.
one cares that much to do that if there wasn't an actual issue.
mm-hmm.
Like, seriously.
And so, like, I decided to, like, believe him and everything like that. And, you know, that was, like, the problem.
It was just like he would say, everybody just wants to see us fail. Or
Yeah,
break
he'd be like, you
up
know,
and-
everyone just wants
that's what
to
I say.
see us
Who's
break up.
everyone? Really? Like, who is preying on your
And
downfall,
like that's what I was
sir?
like that's what I would say. I'd be like, what do you mean? Everyone loves us in a relationship. I was like, what's the
Scared.
like what's the problem? Like I was like so confused all the time. And like that was just like another thing finding about like the vaping, drinking, and smoking. And then like after we broke up, we said we were gonna announce online together that we broke up. He went and announced it on his own. I wanted to make a post saying that we were because I was still friends with him even after seeing him in public and after him putting his hands on me and after him getting upset at my friend and taking his anger out on me. I still was like, I don't want you to get hurt on social media, because if I go and say what actually happened, no one is going to like you. And I'm like, and
no
that's...
one is
gonna
like you.
I promise you that no one's gonna like him.
And like, that was the thing. I was like, if I go and say...
now we can say fuck him.
That's what I'm saying, right?
He was such a narcissist. He was abusive, manipulative. And there was like so many things, emotionally, physically, like everything. And like, I still wanted to go out there and be like, I want what's best with you. Because his ex did, like, when he cheated, his ex blasted him on social media. And then I get, like...
Okay, but get this. So his ex blasted him on social media. She wasn't a huge star,
No.
right? But he had to run away from his hometown, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get away from it. You would think that, oh, shit, this fucked me up.
I'm not gonna do it again.
I'm not gonna do it again, and I'm doing it with a bigger person who has a bigger following than my ex who already fucked me up. Now she can fuck me up with the whole world. Oh, and I'm still doing shit? No, the whole world can know what he does, because at the same time, like, he had that chance to fix that.
And I was thinking, like, I don't want him to be, like, comparing me to my ex, like, oh, she, like, went on social media, like, tried to ruin me and all that stuff. But, you know,
Why did he do it in the first place?
But all I can say is he tried doing the same thing to me, like, literally right after we broke up. Like, I gave him the chance to, you know...
no, you didn't just give him the chance. You gave him countless.
Yes, I gave him countless.
Sounds like you
million
gave him a
chances.
chance every week.
Yeah.
That you talked to him,
You
girl.
gave him a rope.
No,
Yeah.
You said this was about 3 months in, girl. You said like 900 things before the 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
so
talking
many
about?
lifelines.
And I was trying to be like, I just wanted to like be a good person. And like my dad had a conversation with him. They're like, she's never going to post anything bad about you as long as you treat her right and treat her with respect. And when you guys break up, if you guys end it properly. And that was the conversation I always had with him. Like, I'm never going to do anything
100%.
bad as long as we end it properly.
Exactly.
And he went online and said there was no like good thing nor bad things about me, but it basically made it seem like he broke up with me and stuff like that and for other reasons. And I was like, that's not what happened. And he did some really terrible things, like trying to like record me without my permission that I never even knew about or anything like that. And I wanted to be like, hey guys, we're breaking up, but we're still ending as friends. And he was like, oh, you only want to do that because you are a clout chaser. And I was like, what?
What the fuck does that even mean?
He was like, you only want to do it for clout. And I was like, you realize I have more followers than you. I'm like, I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to like say that I don't want to go online and say we broke up and not give anyone even a reason, because if I go and do that, realize that whether I give people or tell people why we broke up or not, you're going to get so hated on. I got upset one night, and this is when we were like somewhat friends. I decided to call him up and be like just like he was the person that always made me like really happy, that turned my mood around. And I got on the phone call with him, and he basically made me feel even worse. He said so many comments, said our relationship was never serious. Mind you, I traveled with this guy.
Everywhere.
I traveled with this guy.
I took him
be
from
real.
state to state. He never...
And when you guys would travel with him, would you guys like pay for his hotels, food, all that shit?
Yep.
There's so much.
Yep.
Did you guys ever fly with him?
Yeah.
Did you guys pay for his flight?
No, he paid for his
okay.
flight.
We made him pay for his flight.
Okay.
But, you know, at the end of the day, you know.
But he went...
It's
we
still
took him
everything
to
else.
dinner. He didn't pay for dinner. He would stay at our house for weeks on end. My mom would ask him what groceries he wants for him to eat food.
Never offered to pay for groceries. Never offered to pay for dinner.
If he took me
Or
out...
offer to clean the house?
No, well, once in a while he would take out the garbage.
No, he...
Wow. Yeah.
And the funny
my
thing
goodness.
is, he would walk Toby, and Toby never really liked him. Another red flag. You know? Like, you know, he was like, that's because that was Mackenzie's genuine first boyfriend kind of thing. Because, you know, Toby's always gonna have a special place. And
They'd be like, I don't like Toby and everything like that. He'd complain about my dog to me.
And it's like Toby saw the kind of character, because animals have that kind of sense.
100%.
Not just moms, but even like her dad and I have been together for a very long time, and him coming to my house or me going to his house, like I would help with the dishes. I would offer like, bring something nice back to the house, get flowers for, at the time I didn't know it was going to be my future mother-in-law, but, look at that kind of bigger picture.
Yeah.
Because, that's the kind of person I am, but that's also how I was raised. And, it was just shocking that, he would never offer that extension,
Well, also flowers are what, $3?
Yeah. He never brought me flowers. Never bought me flowers.
But also was very jealous of her best friend buying her flowers,
No.
Then do it.
Dana did that. She bought me like a bunch of shit for like it was like my 2-month at the time, and instead he didn't do anything for me, so Dana came with like balloons and like
chocolates,
flowers, like so much, and I got yelled at. So I feel that.
Nah, he literally made a post about it. He literally was that salty towards him that he made a post about it. And there was one night that he told me he tagged him, and I went off. I was like, how dare you make a post about my best friend? I never would have ever done that. And I was like, how dare you be so jealous and have that much, like, I don't know, hate towards him when literally he's my best friend. I was like, I would never have a problem.
And he could easily do that
and
himself.
I was like, the only reason that you would be so upset because you never done it yourself. And and another guy bought me flowers before you ever could. When you had months and months to do this, by the way. Months, almost a year to buy me stuff.
Many months.
And I was like, and I was the type of person, like, I like to surprise him with things. So, like, I would get him things. I got him bracelets and stuff like that. And never once did he get me anything until our 6-month anniversary, basically.
So if he can't go to the store and get you $5, $3 flowers.
I said that he could literally take the flowers off the front porch.
That's what I'm saying.
Like porch bush.
If they can't do that, and I could fucking have a whole sibling like driving around trying to figure out how to get these goddamn flowers into my room without killing me, then like it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
For real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it should never be that difficult. And she should have gotten flowers too.
Yeah.
Too. Both of you should have.
I mean, I just think about so many things.
No, he would just be like, if I brought it up to him, I'd be like, you know that, like, I care about the thought. Like, I don't need you to spend so much money on me. But I was like, a flower here and there. A piece of paper that says, I love you. A little long paragraph message. And he'd be like, if you keep asking for things, you're never going to get it. So you're never going to get any of, like, what you asked for, basically. And I'd be like...
More of red flag.
Oh, yeah, right? I'm like, it's all about just the thoughtful thing. I always tell my boyfriend, like, you don't got to go out and pay for, like, a meal or anything. Like, as long as you, like, make a picnic or, like, do something like that. Like, that goes a way more.
Yeah, like, make us some sandwiches and let's just go sit on the beach or something.
Like, those things go so long, so far. Mm-hmm. Just those extra, like, special moments from your heart.
And I'm like, we don't even have to go far. Like, I don't need, like, a far exotic drive. I was like, we could literally go do something that's like 10 minutes away. And he'd complain. Yeah. He'd be like, but I don't want to. And he'd be like, we have to go all the way to my house or something like that. And I'd be like, why do I have to go all the way to your house to like do something special or anything like that? It was just like things like that. And it was just like weird. And I don't have a problem like going to his house or anything like that. But it like, especially like, during the first time like I ever like spent the night there, and like that was like literally I was like, I'm never spending the night again. Like it was that bad and everything like that, and not bad because like I was like uncomfortable or anything like as in like sleeping wise, but like bad as in like he yelled at me in public, and then when we got into the car it made me cry and grabbed me, and it was just like so many things. And like I told my dad the story later, and my dad's like, if I would have ever like, you should have Ubered home that night. And mind you, I've never Ubered by myself before. And my dad said that to me, and I've never and he was like 2 hours, like an hour and a half away from like my house, and it was like 2 a.m, and my parents are like very much like, absolutely not when it comes
I
to
would have come and picked her up.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I would have.
for sure.
I was scared to tell my mom about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
She would have
That
barged
would've-
in
yeah.
the house.
She would have been like,
Yeah, you would have ran up in there.
Yeah, she's like, well.
I definitely, the parents would have been woken up. For sure. Like, because he's got a sister too. So it's like, man, if you have a sister, like, you should know better than to behave
Younger
like a
or older?
douchebag.
older sister.
Which is even like, your older sister should be telling you
if
to
I
treat
have a
girls
son
better.
and they ever treat a female or they're like gay
For
and they ever
real.
treat another male like this,
I feel like when a guy has a
No.
younger sister, they treat girls better.
that is true.
You can't fix crazy. You can't, it's just
For real.
crazy's crazy and he's definitely broken,
It's
And I accepted him that
sad.
way. Like, because I was like, I knew he was like broken when I first met him. And I was just like, I'm not that I want to fix you or anything like that, but I want to be the person to hold you together.
Mhm.
And I want to be like the glue to your like broken pieces, basically. And that's what I was trying to be. And I like always wanted to be there for him. But unfortunately, it just like at the end of the day, it was not like that. And when I had my basically last conversation with him to be like, I was upset and I wanted to call him. And I found out after the conversation that like so many different things he said to like basically like hurt me in a way. He thought this was a great conversation, mind you. He thought that conversation we had where he told me I was never serious, that I am too much work. He thought this was a great conversation. Yeah, he thought this was great.
I feel
And
the same way, Dan.
There's so many
no,
red flags.
after
Oh my
that
God.
conversation and everything like that, I got off the phone. I was so livid, so upset, so heartbroken to hear him say this and everything like that. And before that conversation, I was getting really upset at my parents. More of my mom, because my mom was with me at the time. My dad was back in Florida. And I was getting so upset at my mom, being like, you don't understand, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm really upset. And like, you don't, like, I just need to talk to him and everything like that. And my mom was just like, you know what, if you want to talk to him, talk to him. Like, I can't, like,
Facts. You gotta learn on your own.
yeah.
I'm very, very fortunate. I cherished my relationship with my daughter, and I felt like I had to pull back. Like I had
Yeah.
to give her room to make her own decisions and make her own mistakes. And
Yeah. And I called him. Worst conversation. Got off the phone. He told me he was at his house by himself. 2 minutes later, I see he posts on it. My thing is, if you're gonna lie, don't post about it. Like, be a good liar at
Where
least.
was he?
He posts on his story, and he's at his friend's house with a bunch of girls.
Oh my God.
And a girl, another girl, he was like, no, we're just friends. Like, she has a boyfriend, by the way. Her and her boyfriend broke up and stuff like that because of him. And I was like, oh, yeah, the one he calls his cousin on social media. It's definitely not his cousin, by the way.
Yeah, by the
I know
way, it's
exactly
not
which
his
one that
cousin.
It's not his cousin. Definitely not his cousin. I like saw that and I completely was like, I'm done. Like, I don't care what type of posts I make on social media. I'm not going to be like one that I like fully like put him out there and like boost him up. But I was like, I'm going to put whatever type of breakup post I want to put, because obviously he doesn't care about what my feelings are and what I think. So I just put a post saying that like I won't let anything break me. And 5 minutes later, he started blowing up my phone. I didn't answer him till that night because I was busy doing stuff. And now I wasn't ever going to
Shouldn't
give
have
him.
answered him at all.
I didn't want to
Good.
give him my time. But, you know, I got on the conversation and found out how, like, I already knew, like, how malicious and, like, manipulative he could be. But during that conversation, like, and I already saw him, like, change as a person. But after that during that conversation, I was like, oh my God. Like, I literally, like, I don't even recognize you. Like, he was just screaming at me for like 45 minutes and threatening me and just so many different things. And I was like,
threatening to hurt her.
Yeah.
Premeditated comments and stuff like that. Like, this is like, you know, like the kind of stuff that you see on the news.
Yeah.
Like, literally,
like I was really genuine, and I was like, wow, are you really threatening me? He's like, I'm not threatening you, I'm just telling you better watch out for like what you do. Like
all right, buddy, you better watch out.
Yeah,
so I don't know what the fuck. Well, I don't know what threat you have to her, because clearly you did everything wrong. I mean, the fuck. So good luck.
Bye-bye.
Good fucking luck. Like,
yeah, definitely
So-
that indeed. And that kind of just like, after realizing getting off the relationship, like with him and everything like that, I like started looking back into like everything, our whole relationship, and be like, oh my God, these were all the red flags and all that stuff. Because like this was my first relationship. And so I basically let everything slide because I was very much like,
Well,
in
you're
love
also
with
a
him.
trusting person, so you
Yeah.
would let things slide because you like to trust people when they tell you a certain things. You don't like to think about the 700 ways they could deceive you. You
Yeah,
just say
even
yes.
though like I told him like I wasn't super trustworthy with people, but I trusted him with my full heart and loved him with my full heart. And I just always basically wanted us to work out because I was always like, oh my God, I want my first love to be my only love. That was like what was in my head. Even though there was some terrible things that happened, I don't regret the relationship whatsoever. Like, I enjoyed the good times we had. I'll always remember the good times we have, but I will always also remember the most terrible times we had too. And I'll never forget them because I feel like with this being like said, like, not that everyone has to go through it, but sometimes like people need to learn, I guess, through, I don't know, not adventures or anything, but sometimes people need to like walk the walk in
learn
order,
through experience.
Yeah, learn through experience.
literally.
And
It's
so,
part of your journey.
yeah, I think I definitely learned a lot and grew a lot. And with everything happening in the relationship and all the terrible things he did, I still don't wish the worst on him because, like, I'm not the type of person. I believe in karma and everything like that. So, you know, karma will do its job and will do its duty. But I'm never going to once be like, I wish for you, I don't know, whatever someone would wish for him or
Because
anything
you
like
have a
that.
good heart, you know, I think that for sure there's a lot of
I personally
lessons.
feel like I hope he finds the help he needs is pretty much what I think. Because if you could do this to someone who gave you a like full heart and wanted to be there for you 24/7, and if I personally feel like only thing I could say is you're sick if this is how you treat somebody. So like,
and think there's nothing wrong with it.
I hope that he watches this, and I hope he listens to it. I hope everybody else listens to it too, and I hope it really, if the first time wasn't a hit in his head, I hope this one is a hit in his head, and I hope he actually learns that he needs to get himself help, and he needs to get...
and I recommended
Yeah.
that, like, literally in the relationship when he told me he wasn't ready and all the psychological things that was going through him and all the mental things. And like, I'm one for like mental health, and like, if you need help, there's no problem with going seeing a therapist
No,
or anything like
no
that.
problem at all.
And I went and told him that, and he basically like, he was just like, oh, okay, like, yeah, for sure. Like, totally.
No, but I
Doesn't do it.
genuinely do hope he gets the help that he needs, and I genuinely hope that he never does this to another human being ever again. And I hope that through this he learns a little bit of a lesson, and I hope that he regrets losing you and regrets doing what he does to you
He
for
will.
a long time. And I hope that you know in your heart that you wouldn't take him back if he comes back and like apologizes. You know
And
what
we're
I mean?
also glad that you're now safe and out of
Yeah,
that
like,
relationship.
thank
and
God.
You're also doing really, really good after it too.
Amazing.
Like, it hasn't
Thank
fucked up
you.
your mental health like that.
Like I
but-
said, you literally don't need anyone. Like, you're amazing.
I'm just
you're
more-
so
thank you,
talented and
guys.
insane. Like, really.
No, I'm just in the next relationship, whenever that will be. Again, I'm in no rush or anything. Yes, do I make relationship content on my profile? Yes, because I've always done that before I even thought about having a boyfriend. But like,
It's relatable.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
relatable. That's like why I just make relatable content and everything like that. But like, whenever a boyfriend comes. Like, do I need one? No.
Do not chase.
Yeah.
Have him come to you.
Exactly. And so, like, that's kind of, like, what my thought process is. And I, now for my second relationship, like, I know what the red flags are. I know what to, like, I know the things that I should, you know, go after, not go after. I'm going to be very, like, cautious and particular with my next relationship and stuff like that, because I'm never going to allow myself to be put in the position that I was put in. And, you know, I'm expecting only to go up from here. But, you know, I'm glad I wanted to have my first relationship was a long relationship. So it was basically almost a year and stuff like that. So
I'm super proud of you, honey.
Yes.
Being able to be strong enough to still be smiling, right?
Yeah.
Not be.
I laughed through trauma.
Not be bitter. Not be bitter, because, you know, certainly there's so many ways that she could have handled this and still be able to, you know, look at life with a, you know, a smile and reflect back. And I think, you know, having special relationships like the two of you, you know, is really, you know, not just endearing to my heart, but like genuinely warm, and, you know, having, you know, big sisters and with lots of like love.
We're your better big sister.
Lots of love, and like, you know, just even giving her the, you know, courage to be able to come here and, you know, just first of all, doing the podcast, that wasn't the courage, but being able to share with other, you know, other young people out there that,
yes,
you know, don't be afraid to talk about it. And
you can come to us, like literally DM us. If you don't have anyone to talk to, literally DM us. We will answer. Well, no. I mean,
we love you guys literally so much, but you guys know that already.
We love you too.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing and being so like transparent and just honest and sharing the story with us.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yes.
Like we said before, if you're ever in a situation like that, please reach out to someone and do not go through it alone.
Yes.
A lot of women go through that, and unfortunately a lot of women don't make it out, and I do not want that to happen to any of you or anyone around you. So if you know 100%. Someone or you are affected by this, please reach out to us or anyone, or there's numbers online. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but please, like, I don't want anything to happen to you guys or anyone around you. And the fact that even it, like, touched Mackenzie a little, like, I was
very lucky to, like, have, like, not gone through it as much as other people have gone through it. But it definitely did. I definitely did go through it and everything like that.
But you got out of it before it got to the point of where it was, like, detrimental to your health. And that is what the most amazing part of it is, because who knows, eventually.
I was very thankful that I didn't end up with blood everywhere, and I just ended up with bruises. Which bruises can go away and everything like that.
Share your socials and how they can find you and where they can find you guys. So
you guys can follow me on all my social media at McKenzi Brooke, or on Snapchat, McKenzie_369, and then YouTube, Mackenzie and Reef. And oh yeah, you guys can also go stream all my music, McKenzi Brooke, McKenzi Brooke. I'm coming out with new music for 2023, so
yes, go listen to that.
Ariane, aka Momsy. There are times that I spell Momsy with 2 E's, and times I spell Momsy with 4 E's. I don't know why. I just don't know why. But you can find me. Yeah, there's only one Momsy, and I'm right here.
Yay! Well,
and thank you guys. You guys know where to find us.
Yes, Better Big Sisters and everything. Alex Umazo, Dana Marie. Make sure you leave comments down below, questions, stories, anything you guys want to see, people you want to see, and we will make it happen for you.
You already know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you for watching.
Hit that subscribe button.